Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Here we go. Blast off.
This is True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death. That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call Ghost.
Once again, and I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in with me. It is Monday, and for those of you keeping track, it is episode number 37. Let me tell you something, folks. It was a dismal day on the market, to say the least. Anybody who was invested in the equities markets should have anticipated some losses, and not to mention losses, but you should have expected to see some closeout in today's markets with some higher gains on oil and commodities than you did. Although there are some commodities that did, hit up on the plus side. I just figured that, gold and oil would be a little bit higher, given the fact that you had a lot of sell-off on the equities. Now, let me explain about this skittish market that we're living in here today. As you can see, folks, you have a lot of uncertainty going on within the investment community, and you can just tell by how the investors are investing. There's no consistency whatsoever. I mean, if you looked at the futures market this morning, all right, if you would have just looked into the futures market this morning, you would have thought that the damn Dow Jones Industrial, NASDAQ, S&P 500 were all going to increase on the plus side. But as we started getting closer to opening bell, what happened? We had sell-offs on the futures. We had an increase dramatically on gold and oil this morning. Oil this morning hit $107 a barrel. $107 a barrel, for Christ's sake. But anyway, folks, I think that some of these equities, depending on your positions, remember, you have to be holding positions that are able to withstand any kind of economic contraction. And if we look at any kind of impact that the rise in oil, rise in gasoline is going to have on consumer confidence, it's going to affect certain sectors. This is where you have to get a little bit complex and a little bit intellectual as an investor. Because remember, we are going to have an economic contraction, folks. I've been saying this. We're getting closer to the middle of the spring. I don't know if you folks have been listening to me for a long time. If you haven't, look into the archives. I've been calling this economic contraction in the equities markets for a long period of time. But at the same time, I think that there are positions you can take that you can hedge either against inflation or even get some profitability if you know where the profits are going to be at given an economic contraction based upon the heightening in commodities. Not just oil, not just gas, but I'm also talking about meat, and I'm talking about vegetables, I'm talking about groceries. If you understand where these particular sectors are going to hit consumers in the pocketbooks and make speculations based upon third and fourth quarter earnings or potential third and fourth quarter earnings, I think that you got good chance of beating the market. Now, remember, a lot of things have happened, and I don't know how everybody is on their specific portfolio, but the True Capitalist portfolio did take somewhat of a hit. We're still up 3+% on a cumulative level, which is not bad, but we'll get to all that in a minute, folks. What I want to talk about is the equities markets. I want to give everybody the news that are just tuning in. If you happen to be, shooting around the golf today and just did not pay any kind of attention to the equities markets, it was to your benefit because they dipped rather dramatically. Dow Jones Industrials today closed off at 12,090. And a loss at 79.85 points. It was on the negative side, 0.66%. S&P 500 closed out today at 1,310.13 points. It was down 11.02 points, and it was a decrease of 0.83%. Good God. And then the NASDAQ even took a worse hit. I mean, it was a pretty bad hit today for the NASDAQ because we had all these, so-called ass clowns out here that are supposed to be hot shots. Yeah, look, I got a little hot shot over here in Wall Street. Let me tell you something, folks. I mean, I know that, there was a couple of firms, and I'm not going to mention their names on this particular broadcast, that were down on tech. But I think that, individuals that have been downgrading tech, I think they just have underestimated tech a little bit. And NASDAQ, for all those folks that are unfamiliar, comprises the bulk of most tech stocks. And it was this downgrade by certain financial institutions about tech stocks, that has caused the NASDAQ to decrease, on top of all the oil increase, commodity spikes, so on and so forth. The NASDAQ today closed out at 2,745.63. It was a decrease today, believe it or not, minus 39.04 points. On the negative side, 1.40%. So it was a considerable loss. If you had anything in tech today, obviously, this damn market was smacking you in the mouth a little bit. But at the same time, folks, I'm still long term in a lot of the plays that I have made in tech, and I've made public here on this broadcast in tech. I think there's a lot of things that I've suggested that are good for the long term. This is a skittish investor environment. Once this retraction that I have prognosticated in previous broadcasts, and if you don't believe me, you take a goddamn look, for Christ's sake. These economic contractions that are going to happen, there are stocks where profit are going to be. Profitability is going to happen in certain stocks. You just have to do your homework. A lot of the stocks that I've suggested are very good long-term growth stocks, even amidst an economic contraction. That's what investors have to speculate. Don't get me wrong. There's easy money. When there's bull markets like this, when you've got, almost 3 straight months of gains in the equities markets, oh, yeah, I mean, you could just pick anything out of the sky. As a matter of fact, when I was doing this show as true, quote-unquote, conservative radio, back in the summer, I was telling people, I was urging people, hey, invest in the stock market. It's not going to stay at 9,000 Dow Jones Industrials. It's not going to stay at these low levels. And that was before I was even, trying to suggest capitalist investments. You can look back up if you don't believe me. Not to mention, during that time, I was bullish on commodities. I was bullish on commodities when it came to this show, when we transitioned from True Conservative Radio to True Capitalist Radio. Let me tell you something right now, folks. I'm still bullish on commodities. And you can look back in that goddamn archive, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. All right? Not to mention, that's where you direct people so that you can retweet the program and direct them to the live broadcast. But whenever you have spare time, folks, go back to the archive. I've suggested this. The prognosticator of prognosticators, folks. And I'm called that for a reason. And let me tell you, if you would have listened to me on those commodities plays, you'd have made some serious capital. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and go into commodities right now. Now, as we switch to commodities, folks, I mean, let me tell you, gold and oil were up dramatically today. I mean, they were really, really up. There was a sell-off for some reason, I guess because people had, I don't know, they wanted to make this bubble, because it seems to me that this equities market, this equities gains that continues to happen, we didn't have much gains today. But as I've said time and time again, a lot of these gains are based upon earnings in the fourth quarter fiscal year 2010, which is holiday sales, which is a lot, the time the consumer has a lot of money to spend. And these earnings are based upon that, on top of a lot of corporate cutting that made the bottom line that much closer to not loss. And I think, in my personal opinion, I think that all these companies that are reporting good earnings in the first quarter here, and these earnings that we've seen up until this point, are the recourse of all those consumers in the fourth quarter in December and those months of the holiday season. You're seeing the recourse of all the corporate cutting, the layoffs, the restructuring of certain pensions, and so on and so forth. Now, what's going to happen here in the next couple of quarters as new earnings come out, folks, is when it's going to separate the men from the boys. All right, we're going to have considerable losses. Don't get me wrong, we're going to have considerable drawbacks, and we have a real reactionary investment climate at this point in time. I mean, this investment climate basis, they're selling, and it's impulsive, for Christ's sake. It's instantaneous on news, on, some stupid investment firm speculation. I mean, there's a lot of things driving the market at this point in time. But in my opinion, if you go where the profit's at, now, even though some of these stocks that I've advised on have taken a little bit of a hit, if you go where the profits are at this point in time, and don't go by the hype, don't go by over-speculation on certain equities, you should fare out fairly well in this coming economic contraction, because I guarantee you, folks, I've been calling it. I've been calling it, baby. If you don't believe me, look back in the archive. We are going to see a retraction in these equities markets, folks, and we're seeing it, and it's going to be gradual. Like I said, it's going to extend. We're getting close to mid-spring, just as I had prognosticated, and it's going to extend into the later spring going into summer. But in the summertime is when we're going to see the separation of the men from the boys. I mean, you're talking about investors reacting to earnings in the next couple of months. You're going to see dramatic increases in a lot of stocks. And it's just going to be unbelievable. And the reason is because the uncertainty, the uncertainty that's in the climate at this point in time, I believe is going to extend to the point where investors that are kind of, how can I put it, a little skitsy. One day they're bullish on gold, they're bullish on oil. The next day they're going back and selling their positions that they've profited on oil and gold and metals and commodities and putting them in the equities. Equities goes up, they sell those positions off, put them in the commodities, they're putting them in the, they don't know what to do, folks. I'm telling you, what have I been saying? This is not a good time to be a capitalist. You got to be on top of your goddamn game in this environment. And this is why I'm saying, folks, if you're a capitalist and you want to stay on top of your game amidst inflation, which the government continues to spend, amidst a, how can I put it, seesaw economic environment globally and nationally in general with America, we have to be, as investors or day traders or however you capitalize, we have to be very suspect when we see certain so-called trends. I know there's a lot of individuals out there that get manipulated by certain trends. As a matter of fact, it's even being advertised on the goddamn business channels out here, you know, when the business channels go to commercial, you actually have brokerage firms, having, you couldn't spot a trend, and you couldn't spot this, and you couldn't spot that. I mean, don't you understand that investing is a lot more than looking at a fucking chart? Excuse my French. It's a lot. I mean, you don't just look at a chart and say, this looks good. I mean, do you understand that there's a variety of different factors that encapsulates a great investor? You know, once again, you know, I remember hearing Charlie Gasparino, which is a Fox Business reporter, some guy that's supposed to be in bed with Wall Street, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm talking about? You know, somebody that's supposed to know the game out here, has all the inside tracks with all the investment firms and all the banks. Once again, I heard him, what was it, Varney and Company, or one of these business shows that are on that particular network. Charlie Gasparino once again reiterated that everybody should have known that, what's his name, Bernie Madoff was a fraud, because nobody gets a consistent 8% increase annually. There's no mutual fund, there's no whatever. I mean, he actually said this. 8% annual? Are you kidding me? I've been getting more than 8% for, probably longer than this idiot has even stepped foot on Wall Street. I mean, how do you think you get by 8%? 8% sucks. This is why everybody should be involved with their own investing. Don't go to these mutual funds. Don't go out here and money managers and all this other crap, man. Screw that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to open up a WETA here. I've actually been, or WETA, or I don't even know what to call it, the Puerto Rican, Boricua. I'm going to call it a Boricua because the goddamn can, I don't even want to call it. I don't even want to get another email about me being racist, but I'm going to open up a can of beer. I've been drinking for a considerable time because I've been ferrying out decently, folks. I know that equities were going to take a dive. If you would have read my tweets Sunday, I was warning all the investors that, hey, you need to watch your positions in the equities markets on Monday. And this is exactly why I was telling people in the tweets on Sunday, watch your equities positions, because this was going to happen. Anyway, let's go ahead and open up a beer here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you could please retweet the program, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Spread it around like wildfire, and let everybody to come in here and chat with us, talk to us, make some money, because you know how it is. Listening to ghosts is like making freaking money. Anyway, let's go ahead and open up a can of beer, shall we? Everybody knows what it's all about. And here we go. Everybody's saying I'm a drunk all of a sudden. Now, look, let me tell you why I was drinking earlier in the daytime, other than when I usually drink, which is about this point in time when I conduct this broadcast. The reason is because I'm considering, believe it or not, selling one of my brick-mortar operations. And for all those folks that don't understand what I'm talking about like some brick-mortar store, that I actually conduct retail business out of, okay? And this individual came here to my office here in Austin, Texas, and we sat down, and I have the bar here in the office. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring a kegerator up in here. I'm going to get one of these, goddamn kegerator refrigerators or whatever. I am going to actually install one here in the office. I've already made arrangements for that. There's going to be some goddamn carpenter coming in here, some Mexican. He's going to, measure stuff up and install a goddamn kegerator. So instead of me cracking open these goddamn beers with, different ethnically ambiguous broads on the packaging, I can just get myself, some kind of a damn a pint-sized mug, go out there and just chug it right out of the goddamn kegerator. So anyway, cheers, folks. Cheers. Let me go ahead and take a chug of this. We're going to go over the goddamn equities markets, and then we're going to talk about some other things, and we're going to take your calls. So let me go ahead and take a chug here, shall we? That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, Brent crude, folks, took a sell-off today. I mean, it is rather high. Usually, as investors know, West Texas sweet crude usually coincides not too far off from Brent crude, but there is a big discrepancy. Brent crude today closed out at $114.84, down $1.13, a change of 0.97%. Gasoline futures were a sell-off, believe it or not. Sell-off at $5.75, a decrease of 0.59%. Heating oil futures also a sell-off, minus $3.48, a decrease of 1.13%. Now, the West Texas sweet crude, let me tell you, it was $107 a barrel at one point today. I kid you not. I mean, and I think that we're going to continue to see those increases, folks. Now, do I think they're permanent? I don't think so. I think this is a temporary spike. But we do have to understand that there's destabilization in the Middle East. There, as a matter of fact, reports came out that they are going to have a protest in Saudi Arabia this Friday. That's right. This Friday, Saudi Arabia is supposed to raise up, and I don't know what they're going to do, burn their turbines, or I don't know what the hell they're going to do, what they're planning. But the royal family of Saudi Arabia has put a crackdown on this malarkey. And just for the sake of the market, I'm not pro-Saudi Arabia royal family by any means. I think that the Saudi Arabia royal family is like most, monarch, despotic regimes that, are authoritarian or in their own vested interest. But at the same time, as a capitalist, I have to look at some kind of security when it comes to these particular markets. Because let me tell you, even though I'll be making lots of money because I anticipated the destabilization of the Middle East spreading throughout the oil-producing countries, I don't want to see gasoline get so high and oil crude get so high, the whole energy sector getting so high that it just completely depletes consumer confidence, not just in America, but throughout emerging markets throughout the globe. And this is a serious threat to capitalists. We have to realize that, I'm talking about dramatic spikes. I think that we can take a spike of crude going up to about 120, 130. Believe it or not, I still think that we can withstand those types of prices. But if it goes into something where it's 1978 to 79 or something, we're talking about stagflation. Now, I haven't used that word a tremendous amount. I've only used it a couple of times within the True Capitalist broadcast. As a matter of fact, in the early broadcast, I was suggesting that the elements for stagflation are in effect, and I think that those elements are becoming more and more apparent as time goes by. But once again, folks, I still am bullish on West Texas sweet crude. It's 105 today, an increase of 62 cents. Like I said, it was up to $107 a barrel. That was the leading story in the business news, no matter where you gathered your information. But it only closed out plus 62 cents today, an increase of 0.59%. Still bullish on it. I think that we need to wait till Friday to see what comes out of this Saudi Arabia uprising. And let me tell you, if anything comes out of this Saudi Arabia uprising, man, if the Saudi Arabians start really, getting pissed off and going out there and, do it for jihad! We got to do it for jihad! And they go out there and start burning turbines and killing, Saudi Arabian monarchs. $250 a barrel? I don't even know. I don't even want to know. Because I know even though I am going to profit generously on the variety of different investment instruments that I have towards oil and crude and gasoline, I know that I'm going to pay the price with the increase of commodities and agriculture, with the decrease in the equities markets. There's a lot of repercussions that can happen here, folks, if West Texas sweet crude gets too, if it just gets too high, man. I'm a little a little apprehensive. I got to see where West Texas crude goes. Like I said, I think the American economy can withstand at least about $120, $125 a barrel. But after that, I think that we're going to see some declines, and I'm expecting declines like I've anticipated in the springtime going into summer. But we're going to see them even more extensively. Anybody who's holding positions in certain sectors that could legitimately get hit by this increase in crude, should worry about those positions. I'm talking about any positions that requires transportation in any fashion, whether that be through air, whether that be through truck. This is going to increase the price on any commodity or a product or service that your stock is a company of. I think that everybody should just be very apprehensive when it comes to these gains or so-called gains. I've been saying this for a long period of time in the equities markets. But I'm still bullish on West Texas sweet crude, folks. I think it's going to go up the roof, believe it or not. I mean, I don't want it to, but, I just think that it is. As a matter of fact, Jim Rogers yesterday, I believe, Jim Rogers, one of the greatest, investors, globally throughout the international community. He actually is extremely bullish. He actually gave a list of all the ETFs and all the stocks and agriculture, everything that he's extremely bullish on. And, of course, one of the things that he was extremely bullish on is something that yours truly advised on. So before we get to that, let's go ahead and run down through the agriculture, the industrial metals, and let's get to callers here, okay? Canola futures down $5. Cocoa futures, why am I continuing to say cocoa futures are going up the roof? Because now the Ivory Coast is now in civil war. It's now in civil war, folks, and if you like chocolate, if you're just some fat, jelly-ass bastard that has to shove about 4 or 5 candy bars in your hole, it's going to hit your goddamn pocketbook because the scarcity of chocolate is going to be abundant. As I've said time and time again, the majority of cocoa, which is the substance that's the basis of chocolate, the crux of it comes from the Ivory Coast. And a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks back, we reported, and we've been telling you about this ever since, that in the Ivory Coast there was a president that was unelected, and he just doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to go anywhere. So as a result, the people are pissed off, everybody's upset, and lo and behold, what's happening? You got a goddamn civil war, and as a result, cocoa futures are up the ass. They're still up today. They're up $6. Coffee futures, the coffee futures are still up the ass. And what did I say in past broadcasts is that as emerging markets come about, as middle classes in emerging markets begin to develop, productivity goes high. With productivity has to have, certain legal substances so that one can continue to be productive. And, of course, everybody throughout the international community knows that coffee is a stimulant that enables one, even amidst, a little bit of fatigue conditions, it can get one productive enough to continue through the day and become a capitalist, baby. I don't know about you folks. I don't really get much sleep. All right, I really don't. I really don't get much sleep. I'll sleep when I die, all right? I'll sleep when I die because let me tell you something right now. Time is money. All right, every time I'm awake, every time I'm researching, every time I'm looking for plays, looking for profitable opportunities, looking for business opportunities, you got to be awake. You got to know things. You got to be on top of your game, baby. Anyway, coffee futures are increased $8.35 today, a major increase, an increase of 3.06%. Unbelievable. And not to mention that there's scarcity because of emerging markets and producers being hit up by environmental anomalies. But we also have upgrades by a variety of different financial firms that have upgraded certain coffee distributors, which is also aiding this particular commodity surge today in the coffee futures. Corn, of course, we're going to see a sell-off on corn. We've seen all-time highs. It's just ridiculous. I'm glad I'm starting to see sell-offs on it. It's down $10.50 today. Cotton, what are we? Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, what are we saying about cotton, folks? Cotton is at all-time highs. I mean, this is ridiculous. If you like clothes, if you like to go out to the mall, if you got some spendthrifty chick that likes to have the best dresses and the best threads, you're going to be paying your ass off this coming, spring into the summer, maybe even into the fall, because cotton is at an all-time high, cotton is at an all-time high, folks, and it continues to rise. We've been talking about these all-time highs even going into last week. If you look at last Friday's broadcast, I mean, we were continuing to be in complete awe at the damn cotton prices. They are up again today. $1.44, an increase of 0.68%, folks. And let me tell you, I don't see that coming down anytime soon. All right? I don't see that coming down anytime soon. So if you like threads, you like the Abercrombie Fitch, baby, or I like Mark Echo and all that crap, you're going to be paying a lot more this coming month and the next month and the month after that, because cotton is through the gosh darn roof. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're going to see sell-off on wheat. We've seen all-time highs on wheat. Of course, the wheat increase had to do with all the Arctic atmospheric disturbances that destroyed a lot of crops, which I prognosticated in earlier editions of the True Capitalist Radio Show. All right, yours truly. Anyway, it sold off $30 today, all right? Sugar is up, and of course, like I said, the reason sugar is up, folks, is because of the, once again, atmospheric anomalies that are happening within the damn equator that are causing a shortage in sugar, not to mention the increased demand in emerging markets. It was up today 11 cents. Soybean futures, we've seen steady increases coming into this week. We saw a sell-off today, down $19. Lumber futures, on last Friday's show, we heard a big-time spike increase on lumber futures. I guess it was based upon the economic data. Well, there was a major sell-off on there, down $3.70. Oat futures, a sell-off, even though we saw gradual increases in them based upon the scarcity of atmospheric disturbances. It was down $4. Soybean oil down 38 cents, and wool. If you happen to like virgin wool suits like I do, or if you happen to like nice wool clothing, you're going to have to pay up the ass just like you're paying up the ass for cotton, because it's had gradual increases. It was up even today, $22. Anyway, let's go to the metals market, folks. The metals today, copper, we've seen all-time highs in copper. Of course, we're going to see sell-off in these positions so that they can move these positions in other areas for profit. The problem, this skittish market, you can't really get profit anywhere because the damn investor is like a damn chicken without its head off. With a chicken without its head, he doesn't know where to go. Anyway, we saw a major sell-off in copper. It was down 3.09% today, down 13.85 points. Gold, an increase today in gold. It was up at one point, $15, $16? It ended up closing out at $4, or up $4.10, an increase of 0.29%, closing out at $1,432.70 per troy ounce. And I'm still bullish on these metals. Silver today, once again, continuing its rise. It's at 30-year high? I mean, it's at a goddamn 30-year high, 40-year high, something like that. Silver, $35.92 per ounce, an increase today of 0.59 points. And, of course, it increased today at 1.69%. Live cattle futures, let's go down livestock. Live cattle futures down 50 cents. Live cattle feeder futures, this is the crap they feed the cow. We've seen consistent increases in this, but today it was just modest. It was up 5 cents. Lean hog futures down $1.30, and that, my friends, is the market for your ass. Anyway, folks, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to take your calls, all right? So I want to hear from you after this song, 646-652-4869. Don't sit on your ass. If you disagree with me, get up off your fat cottage cheese barrel roll ass and give me a call, 646-652-4869.
listening to Ghost on True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
All right, I'm back, folks. I didn't mean to take such a quick break there. But once again, business calls. I've got people that are interested in buying my brick mortar businesses, and I saw the call was coming in. I had to take it. So excuse me if I just kind of abruptly went to some kind of song there. As a matter of fact, for the folks that are asking what the song was, that is an independent artist. Once again, Ghost is promoting independent artists that are actually giving their songs away for free. Because let me tell you, in my personal opinion, I think that's where convergence of technology is headed. Artists that want to become famous, artists that actually want to make an impact, whether it's through merchandising, whether it's through shows, specifically live shows. You can make some serious capital if you've got a good live show. Anyway, I just want to extend my hand in helping out artists that are trying to make some things happen. Anyway, this artist that you just heard there was called Broke for Free. That's the name of the artist, Broke for Free, and the name of that song was called Calm the F Word Down, F-U-C-K. Calm the F-U-C-K down, believe it or not. And I know there's people in the chat room that are asking, hey, why in the hell are you playing all this electronica crap? Well, to be perfectly honest with you folks, I'm actually trying to, do an extensive research in indie music out here, and all the rock indie musicians that I have out here and that I've found, it just suck. They suck, man. I mean, they're simplistic. The riffs are just minimal. The vocals suck. I mean, it just sucks, man. So, if you're asking why am I promoting so many electronic artists, is because, look, it sounds cool, all right? That's right. Yeah. People are asking, is that really the name? Yeah, Calm the F Word Down, Broke for Free. If you do a search, you could probably download it for free, literally. I mean, there's, every artist that I'm starting to feature on this broadcast, you don't have to pay to go and download their songs. You can go out and find it and download it for free, and it's legal, and you can go spread it around like wildfire if you like it. It's the way it is. I'm not playing Lady Gaga, you asshole. Some idiot. I play Lady Gaga. I want to hear it. Rah, rah, ma, 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 suck my, ma, 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 ha, 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 ma, ma, ma. I mean, how is this music? You understand what I'm talking about? I mean, this is just some stupid, skanky, disgusting, hermaphrodite-looking bimbo that gets around, prances around out here in scantily clad outfits, and, has some producer. This is not even her productions. Like, her songs, you assholes, I mean, she has some producer produce them for her. She's just some idiot that gets out on the stage and That's why I'm extending my hands to the real independent artists that are out here actually doing something. That are out here, they're not doing it, they're doing it to get known. They're doing it for the spirit of the music. And I hope that if a lot of these artists get popular, I mean, we can spawn creativity. We can evolve music beyond Lady Gaga or 50 Cent, or what the hell else is popular out here? These fruity-ass rock bands. I mean, I can't even see a rock band anymore. I remember I used to be... in the 80s, you used to be able to flip on MTV and see a decent rock band going on. No, you can't even see it. I mean, it sucks. It just utterly sucks, man. So anyway, folks, I did go a rundown with the markets, folks. Let me take a couple of calls here. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. Let's take some calls here. 111, you're on the air. It doesn't impress me, all right? It doesn't impress me. Get a band that actually can play a riff instead of a couple of chords, all right? I mean, a 3-year-old can play a couple of chords. I mean, even Beavis and Butthead could play it. I mean, give me a break. I mean, give me something with some music, for Christ's sake, with some musical ability. This is what's unfortunate about music. You got musicians that, think they can play a couple of chords or, a couple of hits on a goddamn piano or something. It's not even a real riff on a piano. It's just stupid. 000, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
Well, I mean, I definitely disagree with the music comment because, I mean, if you don't get these artists paid to make the music, they're not going to make the good music.
Well, what do you mean get them paid? What have us sit here and be exposed by the dominions of media, the radio and MTV, be exposed to whatever song they want to feed us 24 hours a day until we're hypnotized and saying, oh, you know what, this song finally sounds kind of cool. And then finally, when it finally starts sounding kind of cool, we go out and we get their album, and every song besides this stupid song they've hypnotized us with sucks, and we're out $15, $20, and we're just supposed to accept that.
No, you can definitely, I mean, you don't have to go for the artists that are on the radio or, that MTV is forcing down your throat, but definitely they should get paid for the music. And if that's not the case, if they're not getting paid by MP3 now, if they're not getting paid by people buying their album, whether online or in a music store, then those artists that come out are going to be big, hairy ball sacks. They're going to suck.
Well, you know what? I mean, it's just tough titty. I think that, this kind of encourages artists, especially assholes that are out here claiming to be, I'm the best rapper, or I'm the best rocker, or I'm the best electronic artist, or I'm the best jazz prick, or whatever. It encourages them to actually be a decent artist instead of some asshole that produces one song, then compiles it with 12 other ones, and we're supposed to have it shoved down our hole and buy it for $20. Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. This is the convergence of technology. It's not as if these artists are completely absent of their copyrights. I mean, I think that the innovation of the Internet, if true artistry is there in the artist, if there's an actual musician that can produce some decent artistry, well, then it'll be appreciated by the Internet. It'll be appreciated by markets that it would have never, ever gotten exposed to had they done the whole, I'm going local, then I'm going regional, then I'm going national. Are you kidding me? With this new innovation of the Internet, if you're a good artist, if you know that you're good at your craft, if you can make something that these people like to hear, all right, you can be local going global. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Local going global, baby. That's what I love about the Internet. And for all you artists that are sitting here saying, no, I still want to get paid at $10 a CD. I still want to get paid $2 a song. I still want to get paid. Well, then you go ahead and continue to do that. I mean, no one's stopping you from doing that. But individuals that are giving their music away for free, and it's great. Music that is given away for free, if it's just good and people like it, well then, it's just going to go around. It's going to go around the world. People are going to, it's going to go viral. But, if you've got assholes worried about, copyright, you're just going to be some asshole who, you're getting paid, $3,000 a year off of, pushing your mixtapes. You know what I'm talking about? Pushing your little mixtapes on the street. But inevitably, if you would just allow individuals to cite who you are and play who you are for broadcast purposes only, you would be more popular than you could ever imagine. You understand? I mean, that's what people don't understand. Look, now, when it comes to somebody profiting from your intellectual property, for instance, if somebody gets your piece of music and uses it for a soundtrack for a movie, well, then, okay, I guess you can go ahead and take that person to court and have a legitimate case and, take some serious money off of them because they profited off of your intellectual property. But if somebody's just broadcasting it or even sharing it over a private network between two computers, whether it be through peer-to-peer technology or just email, whatever. I mean, the recording industry, the movie industry, any of these industries have no right to act as the overlord, and not only that, break privacy rights in trying to pursue copyright lawsuits against the average person that is not profiting from this. Maybe if they were good artists, maybe if they were worth a crap, people would go out and go to their concerts and pay $30, $40, $50 to go see them in a live show, and they can make some serious capital. But no, artists don't do that. Let's be honest. Most artists suck live, all right? They suck. They suck live. So anyway, I didn't mean to get on that tirade. Anyway, I just wanted to just get that out there about goddamn artists. You know what I mean? Look, I think the new model is going to be based around merchandising. It's going to be based around licensing, music licensing for video games, for movies, for documentaries, that sort of thing. Live shows, you have to start working, you artists, all right? You can't just shit out something out of your ass and then have the gatekeepers of media, whoever you had to suck off to get played on MTV and on the mainstream radio play. Let me tell you something. you have to go out and work now. You can't do that anymore. The internet has just completely conquered the gatekeepers of information. These assholes who've had monopoly on creativity. Give me a break. 646-652-4869. Somebody's asking, how do I hedge against equities downturn? How am I going to hedge against the equities downturn? Well, like I said, I mean, I'm short-term on ETF, OIL. I mean, let's go back to the true capitalist portfolio, for Christ's sake. Now, OIL didn't close out very high. It was only up 2 cents because of this goddamn skittish market. It didn't know whether it was going to go up $107 a barrel or go down $104, $103 a barrel. It was just a stupid, skittish market. This is why when I see these types of markets, man, I'm not worried about it. This is just one of these markets where the investor doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and it separates the men from the boys. I'm telling you this right now. If you have value stocks, if you have stocks that are going to withstand these ridiculous bursts in earnings, so to speak, I think that you're okay. I mean, if you have people that are able to withstand these downturns, I mean, and that are not over-evaluated and that can actually profit. Because, you know, what you want to do right now, what you want to do is position yourself with equities that are going to profit when their earnings come out. If their earnings come out and there's profitability, you're going to see spikes dramatically. I mean, just unbelievable. So, yeah, I'm oil is a good way to, hedge your losses against the equities. I think that also gold, silver. Once again, I mean, I hate to keep reiterating this, but you got to look where the profit's at. You got to look where profit's going to be at when it comes to, a downturn in the market. So anyway, let me go ahead and take some more callers here. 646-652-4869. Let me go ahead and take a couple more callers here, then we'll move on to the next subject matter. Anyway, oil was up again, 0.9%. As a matter of fact, if you'd have listened to me on February 22nd and got in at $23.90 when I speculated that oil was going to spike, and you know what? I purposely researched a ETF that everybody could get in on that was very inexpensive, because most oil ETFs are unbelievable. They're like $50, $60, $70, $80. I mean, you want to see increases. $23.90 on February 22nd is when I put in to the true capitalist community to entertain a buy on OIL. And you know what it closed out today? $28.05. And let me tell you something. I think it's going to continue to increase. I think it's going to continue to just increase like a mofo. I'm not joking, folks. I don't see this going down anytime. And if it is, follow me on Twitter. Ghost Politics is the name to follow. Ghost Politics is the name to follow, folks, if you want to know when I feel that it just needs to instantly sell this off. Because at any point, the oil market could go back to the way it was, or it could go down. Now, let me explain why. First of all, if nothing pans out with this Saudi Arabian protest on this Friday, if the people don't rise up and the authoritarian monarch regime is able to suppress this, well, then obviously we're going to have a major sell-off Friday on oil. If they can't, and there's any kind of destabilization, if there's any images coming out of Saudi Arabia where it shows, people getting bludgeoned with billy clubs or shot in the street or whatever, then I would speculate that oil would probably going to go up on Friday, and we're going to continue to see these gains. Either way, I think that we're going to continue to see a shortage. Now, what I found interesting is that our government is considering tapping the United States oil reserves. That's right, the United States oil reserves. And for you folks that aren't familiar with that, those are reserves that are stored in a specific part of the United States in case of a crude oil shortage. Yeah, they're just like a reserve there so that we can kind of, brace ourselves in a worst-case scenario if we see oil at about $200, $300 a barrel. all right? I mean, give me a break. And somebody in the chat room named Carl, what about stagflation? We alluded to that earlier in the broadcast, Carl. I said that the indicators for stagflation are there. But also we have contradicting economic data. And as I alluded to earlier in the broadcast, that I think that the United States economy at this point, given the economic data that's come out, can withstand up to $120, $125 a barrel, believe it or not. All right, I actually believe that given the economic data, we're going to talk about that economic data. It's in the description, based upon everything else we've talked about. And based upon certain earnings where earnings weren't expected, things of that nature. So I think that if the United States if we could keep oil down $120, $125 a barrel, I think we're okay. If it goes over that, I think that the indicators for stagflation are more than apparent at that point. Because if we see barrels of oil go over 125. No, I said 200 or 300 is when we're going to be in some serious trouble, and we're going to have to tap into those damn oil reserves to bring it down. You know, somebody's asking, stop scaring me. I'm not trying to scare anybody. Let's be honest, though. I mean, if Saudi Arabia goes into destabilization, just like most of the Middle East has unfolded, everybody's in for some serious trouble. I mean, I'm not joking, man. I mean, that's when we'll see $200, $250 a barrel. I guarantee you. This Friday is going to be the telling point. All right? No BS. This Friday, everybody look to Saudi Arabia, and if there's any images of, like, distress, unrest, revolution, whatever. I mean, I think that there's going to be some serious trouble in the oil market. Now, I know that I'm going to profit generously because I've got positions. Like I said, I think that oil, OIL, the ETF, is still good right now, believe it or not. I think the target price on this is about $40. It could go over that if the events, unfold, and it's just unbelievable, and scarcity of oil is just I don't even want to talk about that potential, but I think that $40 is a good price point as far as I'm concerned. My personal opinion on OIL. I know there's a lot of individuals who have invested in it that have listened to the broadcast and that have been thanking me, because let me tell you, if you would have listened to me on February 22nd and bought it at $23.90, today it is at $28.05. I mean, that's an increase of, like I said, 17.5%. All right? I mean, let's round it off, 20%. 20% off of 2.5 weeks worth of work. I mean, let me tell you something. Like I said before, not even Bernie Madoff got those types of returns, man. And Bernie Madoff was running a Ponzi scheme. I mean, that's just unbelievable right there. And let me tell you, you even had Jim Rogers today, which is one of the great investors of our present day, saying that he is unbelievably bullish on OIL. And like I said, I'm personally putting the price point at $40. But let me tell you, it could go even higher than that. And I'm holding my positions. And if you're listening in and you want to capitalize on this oil spike, I'd strongly entertain OIL, even at $28.05. I think it's undervalued. I also think that you should entertain Valero. Once again, VLO, even though it was down 84 cents today, I think that people were just taking their positions of profit after Valero's better-than-expected earnings and putting them in other positions. But if you want a good value stock, VLO, Valero, it's a gas company way undervalued. You look at its competitors, its books are finally starting to get back in order. I think it's a very good stock here to go ahead and hedge possibly against a potential spike or a dramatic spike in oil. And that's all there is to it. Anyway, I'm going to put a buy on a specific stock. I just want to wait and see how the futures look tomorrow. All right? I want to see how the futures look tomorrow. I mean, I don't want to take. I don't want to. How can I put it? I don't want to make a call on this specific stock, even though I think it's a growth value stock. But I'm gonna wait and see how I'm gonna wait. All right. 646-652-4869. I'm going to go ahead and take some calls here. 111, you're on the air.
Yes, Gus, Baby Buns. How you doing, Gus? I love you, Gus. Gus.
Get him off! I mean, hello, is this thing on here? Is this thing on here? I mean, for Christ's sake! I mean, I'm sitting over here. I'm shooting pearls, and people are sitting over here. Anyway, 646-652-4869. I want to take your calls. Since I'm waiting for calls here, I want to talk a little bit about how the consumer credit in the United States increased to $5.01 billion in January. Now, what does that mean exactly? Now, be honest with you. I know there's people that are saying, "Oh my God, there's an increase in consumer credit. That means it's bad." No. No, actually, when you see an increase in consumer credit, that's actually rather good. That's actually not bad. To be honest with you, that means that the financial institutions believe in consumers and they're actually lending out money. The consumers feel confident in their particular occupation for longevity. So, lo and behold, this is what we have out here. I mean, I think this is a good economic indicator that shows that, once again, I think that the consumer can weather a storm up to about $120, $125 a barrel of oil. If it goes beyond that, I don't know. But consumer credit, once again, up for the month of January, $5.01 billion. Let me tell you, it was a revised, gain. In December, there was only $4.09 billion in consumer credit. So, the more credit cards there are, the more money there is for individuals that are actually making some capital, especially brick-mortar business. If you happen to run a service, if you happen to sell a product, you want more people with credit cards because that means more money in your goddamn pocket. You know what I'm talking about? That means more money in your pocket, baby. And that's the way you have to look at things. Anyway, let's take some calls here. 646-652-4869. What do you think about consumer credit increasing dramatically? What do you think about that? 213, you're on the air.
Ghost, listen, I heard you earlier talking about independent artists, and I sing for the choir in my church, and I was wondering if maybe, you could put us on, baby. You could put us on. Maybe we could make a CD, and you could promote it on the internet, and I could make a little money, you know what I'm saying? Because my entitlements don't quite pay me like I really need to be paid. That's why my baby's hungry. But I was seeing what you could do, Ghost.
This is horrible. This is just bad. So you're meaning to tell me you want to use your church choir and record them and use them as an opportunity for financial gain? Is that what it is? Shut that kid up! Stop choking that kid!
Yeah, Ghost. See, we just trying to make our money around here. You always talk about how we're not capitalizing, baby, and I'm just trying to capitalize. I'm trying to split my Section 8 voucher. I'm trying to make my money, and you get on to me every time I talk about making my money.
Shut him up! Get him off! I'm not letting him say anymore. You're going to sit over here and shove it in capitalists' faces that he's collecting housing voucher programs and Section 8 and food cards and all this other crap. It's ridiculous. It makes me sick. I can't believe that you shameless ass clowns that sit here and boast about how you're mooching off of the American taxpayer. I mean, just look at your shameless asses. And speaking of shameless asses, we're going to talk about some dumb bimbo later on in the broadcast. I'm not going to mention her name yet, but we're going to talk about dumbass America, and we're going to get to her in just a second. But right now, what we're talking about is consumer confidence raising to a dramatic amount, which is a decent economic indicator, folks. This is why I'm saying, look, to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to get to $200 a barrel. But we have to keep our eye on this Saudi Arabian potential unrest on Friday, all right? Friday's the day. So when all of you are listening to me on Baller Friday, we're going to figure out whether or not the Saudi Arabians are under unrest or if there's going to be any kind of interruption in production, anything. Because this is what's going to say whether or not we're going to have some serious increase in some goddamn some oil. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, let me go ahead and take some calls here. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. We got a 715 number here. We got two 715 numbers. 715, you there?
Yeah, go. I don't want to get you off topic, but can I ask you a question about NASA?
What about NASA?
Yeah, last week on Friday you were talking about somebody wants to call you up and argue with NASA about you that they should do that, right? And so I'm going to argue for NASA here. Okay, so what if NASA builds another space station, but this time they make it so that they can house like 1 million people on it, make it spherical, and I don't know.
Well, hold on just one second. You're breathing kind of hard, so maybe what NASA should do is maybe get some kind of hyperventilator for your fat ass to calm your ass down and, get enough damn oxygen in that fat jelly-ass chest of yours so that it can supply oxygen to the rest of your fat body, and maybe you can be able to express yourself in a concise, intellectual manner, especially as it pertains to NASA. You stupid ass clown. Go get him off. It's stupid moron. Here's the other 715. What the hell do you want?
Hello?
Yeah. Here we go. This is America. You hear this, folks? This is America. Do you hear this? I mean, Lady Gaga, for Christ's sake. I mean, Lady Gaga. Get him off. Get this idiot off, for Christ's sake. I mean, this is it. This is what we have here. Lady Gaga worshiping pieces of milky-licking crap that think they're going to be American Idols, that think they're going to be movie stars, that think they're going to be reality stars, that they, try to act like Snooki. I mean, this is really sad. This really sucks, you know that? Really sucks. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a chug of my beer, for Christ's sake. The stench of the ignorance, for Christ's sake, is making my head want to explode. I want to throw something. I can't. I'm sorry. I had a Mexican come in here, was it this weekend, and clean up the crap. I know I've been a little negligent with my office here, been throwing stuff around. I had a Mexican come in here and clean it up, for Christ's sake. But, this is what I'm saying, folks. I'm just trying to shoot pearls out here. I'm a capitalist. I'm trying to show people, hey, you can make some serious capital. You can make some serious money. And what do we have? We have tards that just don't want to make the initiative. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not even talking about retards. Like I said, folks, I have compassion for retards. You understand? I love retarded people. As a matter of fact, I employ a retarded person at my one of my brick mortar establishments. He cleans the crappers. He takes out the garbage. He sweeps the floor, mops the floor. And you know what? He loves his job, man. He loves coming into work every day and doing these things. Unlike a regular person who's going to be like, man, it ain't fair, man. I ain't fair, man. Like I said, I'm pro-retard, man. I think there should be more retarded people walking around. I think they're the sweetest people of all time. They laugh. They smile all the time. They're never down on life. They're innocent. I mean, I just think that there should be retards all over the place. Seriously, I'm not joking, man. I love retards. As a matter of fact, I donate to retarded charities, for Christ's sake. I just think that they're great people. Great people. It's regular people that make me sick. I mean, you're hearing these prank calls. These are regular people here. retards. They're innocent. They're sweet. They like their jobs. I mean, I got a retard cleaning shit bowls. And let me tell you, one of these brick mortar businesses that I have actually has a public bathroom. And in this public bathroom, of course, you have to let everybody in the general public go in there. And if you deny them, you're going to have one of these ACLU assholes saying, man, you didn't let this homeless person up in there take a crap in your bathroom. And before you know it, you're going to get some kind of lawsuit, and you got to give these stupid homeless pieces of crap $1,000 just so they can go away. It's stupid. It's sick. It's litigious horse crap. But anyway, the public bathrooms, folks, let me tell you something right now. I don't know if it's a fad to just take turds on the wall and, spread it with their ass cheeks or play with their poo, or I don't know what it is, man, but every public bathroom that I have is a brick mortar business. It's just got crap all over the place. It looks like they're trying to draw primitive man cave drawings or something. It's just disgusting, man. It's utterly disgusting and disgraceful. It makes me sick. You know what I mean? And I don't want to clean up that crap. And then, everybody that I've sent in there to clean up that crap doesn't want to do it. They're like, man, I ain't going to go in there and clean up that crap, baby. I ain't doing that, man. I ain't paid to clean up crap, man. I ain't going to do it. But you know what? I send the retard in there. I send the damn retard in there. You know what? He doesn't have any problem doing it. He goes in there with a smile. He's like, thanks, boss. I mean, he loves it. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm pro-retard all the way. And all you idiots that are sitting here making fun of him, saying, he's just a tard or something. I mean, let me tell you something. That is one sweet individual. Every retard I've ever met has been a great person, and I just wish there was more retards, as a matter of fact. I don't like regular people. I think there should be more retards wandering around out here. They appreciate life a lot more, you know what I mean? Anyway, 646-652-4869. I didn't mean to get off on that tirade, folks. What we're talking about here is consumer credit increased in $5.01 billion in the month of January, and we're trying to see if we can interpret that as a positive indicator for certain plays in sectors that relate to consumer credit. All right, so I want to hear from you. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. And let's go ahead and take some calls here. 386, you're on the air. Area code 386, are you there?
Oh, yeah. I just going to ask you something real fast, man.
Yeah, you're stupid. Area code 404, you're on the air.
My name is Herbie. I like cleaning toilets and masturbation. Yay! I like masturbation, Ghost. What about you?
This is horrible. You're making fun of retards. Is that what you're doing?
My name is Herbie. And
I hope you burn in hell for sitting there and making fun of retards, you bastard. Sitting over there trying to act like a tard. You're not no tard, for Christ's sake. I know a retard when I hear one, all right, you piece of crap. And you're, my friend, are no retard. You're just some dumb imbecile that was probably dropped on your head by your mammy. And you're so stupid, you're probably one of these 45-year-old bastards that are sitting there smoking pot. You've seen those pot commercials now, right? Where they're showing, these potheads that just sit there in their chair and they show like a morphing, gradual aging process to this idiot sitting in the chair. He's smoking a joint every time, and he goes from teenager to 20-something to 45-year-old bald prick. I mean, this is what we have out here. This is America. You know what I mean? And they don't want to do anything else. They just want to be pothead losers that are 45 years old that do nothing. That's why they justify all this crap, for Christ. They go I don't want to go be capitalist. It's too hard. It's too hard for me. I don't want to learn. I don't want to have to go read. I don't want to have to go out and do nothing. I just want to smoke and watch Maury Povich. And I just want to sit back and just watch Judge Judy. Shut up! 646-652-4869. Once again, we're talking about consumer credit in the U.S. increasing $5.01 billion in the month of January, possibly looking good as an economic indicator. I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. Let's take a call here. 111, you're on the air. 111, you're there.
Yeah, go take it. Yeah.
You silly bastard.
Hey, I'll introduce you.
Hello.
Hi, Ghost.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you had brought up the retard topic because my sister and I were listening here on the radio, and she actually wanted to talk. I said no, but I figured now since you were kind of dabbling on that topic, she does want to talk. So if it's okay with you, I'll bring her on.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay,
Yeah.
my name's Peggy, and I heard you talking about retards.
Okay.
But I listen to your show all the time. I want to know how to invest my money. I got a job at Walmart.
Well, how do you invest your money? Well, you listen to the True Capitalist radio broadcast. I mean, once again, you look at all the increases that, Ghost has been getting with these damn picks, for Christ's sake. I mean, that's how you do it. All right, and let me tell you, I don't appreciate the assholes in the chat room saying such vulgar things about, this young lady who, I mean, what is this? Is this, are you still there?
Yeah, they also mean.
So what do you do at Walmart?
I am a greeter.
You're a greeter?
I say hello to everyone.
Oh yeah. Well, why don't you take us through a typical greeting? I mean, we want to hear. Like, let's say I'm just walking in through Walmart right now. What would you say to me?
I would say, hello, sir. Welcome to Walmart.
Hello, welcome to Walmart. How much are you getting paid for that?
It's not a whole lot, but it's enough for me.
No, that's all good. That, and I want to thank you for calling. That's a heartfelt story right there. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, you see, this is what I'm saying. Ghost is not just, going worldwide and appealing to minds of investors and haters alike, but Ghost has even got retarded people. He's even got a retarded contingency in his listener base. I mean, that's just unbelievable, isn't it? Let me tell you, I'm going to drink. Let's drink to Tards, shall we? Here. Cheers, everybody. A drink for Tards here. Anyway, God bless her soul. I hope that she keeps greeting away, Seriously, I hope she keeps greeting away, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm touched, I'm touched by a retarded person calling up and admiring the True Capitalist radio broadcast. They're actually learning something, Anyway, 646-652-4869. Thanks for the Tard for calling. We really appreciate it. 514, you're on the air.
My name's Herbie. I say invest in poop. Ha ha! Ghost, I invest in poop.
Yeah, that was really funny, bastard. I'm sure you're getting great lulls for that, huh? I mean, you can't come up with something new, for heaven's sake? I mean, good God. Anyway, we got fruity ass Maxta on the line. What do you want, Maxta, you fruit bowl?
Hey, what's up, Ghost? Bro,
yeah, what do you want?
You sometimes.
Well, what do you want, Maxta? You want to play with my toolbox?
No, Ghost. I just want to say I was looking at your portfolio today, and things aren't looking that good for you, honestly. Cisco's falling like crazy. Intel, you're losing people money. You should be off the air, man.
Oh, is that right? Are you kidding me? I mean, do you understand the first thing about investing, you moron? Not to mention that let's go back to the True Capitalist portfolio, shall we? All right, this is the same Maxta that's some fruit bowl out of Phoenix over here, who's pro-commie over here, trying to shove it down our hole. I mean, isn't Phoenix trying to annex itself from the Union or some crap? I mean, aren't they trying to make a separate state out there in Phoenix? I mean, it's no wonder y'all used to be a damn nuclear waste dump out there in Arizona, for Christ's sake. I wouldn't take a dirty, yellow, bubbly piss in Arizona. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, look at it. He's in the chat room saying he's a pedophile. Let me go ahead and kick this Maxta out. I mean, it's just disgusting. You should be reported, you bastard. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that's just disgusting. It's just horrible. Oh, my God. Anyway, if we look at Cisco, it's down, 2%. And like I said, Cisco is an unbelievable buy. If you look at all the damn emerging markets that are coming out that need fiber optics, I mean, the whole fiber optic market, I think, is undervalued. I'm not just talking about Cisco. I also think JDS Uniphase, which is a name from the tech past, is undervalued, and it's on its way up. I mean, I just think that we're going to see a whole new tech boom once again as the global market continues to expand. I mean, we're seeing lots of emerging markets that are coming about that are contracting these companies to, install these types of networks and that sort of thing. So don't sit here and talk all this garbage, you know what I mean? Give me a break. And look, we got a whole bunch of these damn commies here. I'm just going to kick commies out of here. I'm not going to take communist propaganda. All right, that's all there is to it. I'm not taking communist propaganda in this goddamn stupid damn chat room, for Christ's sake. Oh, Stalin, I love Stalin. I'm not taking that crap. All right, you people are idiots. You know what I'm talking about? You morons in here, you don't understand that if it was so easy for you assholes to go out there and just make large sums of capital, well, then why aren't you doing it? Oh, wait a minute. That's right, because you can't. You can't, you asshole. That's right. I forgot. That's right. This is what's unfortunate about the whole capitalist separation from everybody else. This is what I'm saying about capitalists, folks. No matter what, when I'm long-term on a stock, even if it fluctuates, we're in destabilized times, the profit's going to follow those stocks that are in long-term, that got good net profits, that are sitting on lots of cash, that are a decent PE ratio. I mean, there's a whole lot of indicators when it comes to picking stocks, for Christ's sake. And for these idiots to sit here and say, I'm not doing very good. The whole True Capitalist portfolio is up 3+%. And I've only been advising on stocks for a little over a month. A little over a month. So, if you would have just, chose all the stocks, you would still be up 3+% on your money. You know what I mean? And you just wait till this year continues on. You just wait until all this comes to pass, all the things that came about that I prognosticated comes to pass, and you're going to see that, hey, man, I should have invested in some of this crap. One in particular was OIL. I've been bullish on oil. People, you were the same assholes. You idiots in here were the same, these idiots calling up, you're the same assholes saying, oh, Ghost, barrel of oil is only $89. When is it going to spike? When is it going to spike? You see, this is what separates capitalists from losers. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's about speculation, you stupid assholes. And this is what separates you from everybody else. And now that oil's spiking, now that everybody that, took my advice and invested in oil are making major amounts of capital, and believe me, I get emails all the time from people thanking me for, giving them the ideas and the insight to go out and invest in oil, giving them the insight to go out and invest in commodities, giving them the insight to go out and invest in equities. Go out and giving them the insight to, obtain equities to use as a loan to obtain businesses. Believe it or not, Individuals out here are actually utilizing the advice that I'm giving out. They're obtaining equities, they're obtaining other types of assets, using it to obtain loans, which the banks are giving out at this point in time, for a business. And we've actually got new business owners who listen to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast who are young men and women, young gentlemen and women that are out there actually utilizing the information that I am providing on this broadcast and progressing themselves into the future. Instead of, assholes out of, these liberal-ass states that want to continue just sitting on their fat asses and I just want to continue to get paid, just continue to smoke pot all day. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. Just want to sit back and smoke pot all day. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. And this is what I'm saying, man. This is what's really unfortunate about, the internet, is we got a bunch of losers out here. And this is why I don't believe, in this stimulus package 2 plan that's being implemented right now, I don't believe that there should be free internet broadband Wi-Fi access in poor communities. You have Wi-Fi, broadband, free internet, government-funded access in poor communities. This is the kind of crap you get. You get poor, poverty-stricken riffraff that can't understand why someone like myself and other people that are capitalizing off of just making some the simple moves are making so much capital that we're making money while they're sitting over there, in squalor, barely able to scrape up a down payment on a sandwich. Meanwhile, us capitalists are sitting over here blowing money on $400 bottles of scotch. You know what I'm talking about? A $30 bottle of $30 stick Opus X cigar. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, the tip money that I give out is probably more than these idiots making a week. And that's with their entitlements, baby. I mean, I'm not joking, man. I mean, that's the thing about it. As a matter of fact, folks, if you actually want, some credibility within the spectrum of consuming libations, what you should do is always remember that you should leave a decent tip. All right, now you should leave a decent tip even if it's a drink or whatever, because the next time you come in, they're going to start knowing your ass by face. They're going to know your ass. They're going to be like, oh, my God, this is the guy that left this goddamn tip. And it doesn't have to be astronomical. It just has to be more than the average tip. And these idiots out here, they don't like to tip. They're out here eating, $40 or $50, $60 meals at these low-grade, 2-bit, Long John Silver restaurants. You know what I'm talking about? And, somebody who serves them, they give them a shiny buck. And they're actually thinking they're providing the economy a service or something. Yeah. Thanks for getting me and my, six shit-diapered kids, teas and sodas and refills and food. Here's a nice shiny buck for your ass. Give me a break. 646-652-4869 is the number to call, man. It's just a waste of life. There's a lot of waste of life. That's why I'm saying, folks, we're not going to see a change in America unless we have voter reform and term limit reform. And that's all there is to it. And who should vote? Capitalists, exclusively. Seriously, we shouldn't allow these losers to vote, these wastes of human life that are doing nothing but just complaining. Oh, I'm not rich, so it's not fair. I just don't get it. Give me a break. It makes me sick. It really does make me sick to my stomach. As a matter of fact, it makes me so sick to my stomach. Hold on just one second. I'm going to call somebody right now. All right, that's what I'm going to do.
No one is available to take your call. Thank you for calling.
Oh, I was trying to call the last caller over there, and he's not answering his phone. What happened there, huh? Oh, man, are you kidding me? Oh, poor thing. He just doesn't want to answer his phone. He's scared now, huh? Are you scared that I'm calling you? Huh? Are you scared that I'm calling your ass? I wanted to talk to that dirty dish rag whore mother of yours and tell her what type of fruity-ass communist Mao Zedong ass-licking horse crap popped out of her uterus pipe, and tell her to go out and get neutered as soon as possible. You know what I'm talking about? And now you're not going to answer your phone? Give me a break. Maxta. Well, you better hope that, this number that's here doesn't get around, by some chance. There's a lot of hacking going around, There's a lot of hack-soaring going around, and they could just kind of accidentally just kind of get the number off of my computer, and it could just kind of go around. I mean, who the hell knows? It could go around anywhere. I don't know. This is a dangerous digital world, son. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. All right, we're taking callers here. 850, you're on the air.
Yeah, baby, you call it welfare. I say it's reparations, baby. That's what it is, baby.
Hey, you think it's reparations? That's funny. No, that is funny. You call it. I call it welfare. You call it reparations for what? For what? Why are you hanging up? I want to know what's the reparation? What are you getting reparated for? What, for being alive? Because, some whore decided to shit you out of her uterus hole and you're existing. So now what, we have to give reparations to every loser that's existing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and accept the fact that every damn human being on this earth is God's special creature. I'm not going to accept that. The actions of the masses in this globe prove to us that that is not the case. All right? I mean, let's go back to the Enlightenment thinkers, shall we? Do you remember the Enlightenment thinkers, the individuals who created the social contract, Montesquieu, John Locke, Rousseau, all these individuals, Voltaire, and all these people that were a part of the Enlightenment movement. What was the basis of the Enlightenment movement, huh? What was the basis of it? It was the fact that everybody in the Enlightenment movement believed that the true essence of man was good. And what a foolish notion to believe that the true essence of man is good, because we can see what is happening in today's world, that this is just not the case. All right? I mean, I'm more of a Hobbesian/Machiavellian realist when interpreting the realities of humankind. The human equation is very, tricky. We allow the humans to go out and be free and do whatever it is that they want. And what do? They become stagnant. They become, remote. They do absolutely nothing. And then they bitch about how they don't have anything, even though opportunities are there for everybody. They bitch about how they don't have anything and how they want more, and I don't have any compassion for that. None whatsoever. I have no compassion for that. As a matter of fact, I think we're overpopulating the world with losers. That's why I'm telling everybody who's listening to me out there, become a capitalist, man. I mean, there's still time. There's still plenty of time to become a capitalist. Don't be a part of these losers. I mean, at some point, and I think it's coming down pretty soon, that at some point we're going to have to start thinking twice about feeding all these useless shit funnels. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, that's what most losers are. They are just nothing but shit funnels. These are people that just turn perfectly good food into shit, and that's their contribution to this world. And once again, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again. the bad part about it is that their shit that they take actually has more contribution to this life than they do. Because at least the shit fertilizes the ground. At least it brings in new vegetation. It feeds the earth. I mean, what are these, shit funnel, consumeristic, no producing, detriment to society bastards doing for us? They're not doing anything, man. I mean, they're not even providing wisdom, for heaven's sake. I mean, you got to think any kind. Just think of any kind of contribution. They're doing nothing. They're doing nothing, man. So, in my personal opinion, all these people that are sitting here calling up, talking nonsense, trying to prank call, aren't learning from apparent, obvious, profitable endeavors that are being projected on this broadcast. They are only fooling themselves. They are only a detriment to themselves because they could be profiting with us all, folks. I mean, this is a capitalist world. All right, just as long as you worry about your bottom line, you worry about the capital, you worry about the money, don't worry about it. Don't worry about anything. If this country falls, we'll go somewhere else. I'm talking about all the capitalists. All right, there's emerging markets happening all over the globe that are going to surpass the American market because, look, let's be honest, the Americans have become a bunch of just insignificant wastes of human life just like the Europeans have become. And today, Moody's just basically lowered the credit rating or the debt rating of Greece and Spain and Portugal. These damn European socialist countries are about to go under, and I'll guarantee you, just wait. It's just a matter of time before we start seeing more and more riots in Greece. Because I don't want to retire. I want to be able to retire at 45, and I want to be able to be on the Greek sun, being paid by the government, doing nothing. I mean, this is what the damn Europeans have done to the damn people of theirs, for Christ's sake, and look at what's happening here to America. We've turned into a bunch of dependent, nanny state assholes, and what gets me is that nobody wants to become an individual anymore, No, nobody wants to become an individual anymore. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody wants to just say, hey, look, I know I've got to take care of myself. I got personal responsibilities. Freedom, the whole concept of freedom encapsulates a certain element of personal responsibility. And that personal responsibility lays on me, and I've got to go out and either capitalize or not capitalize, win some or not win some. I mean, I've got to do something productive. And if you're not going to do nothing, you're just a detriment of not only this society, but you're a detriment to yourself and any other life that you bring into this planet. You piece of crap. Anyway, as a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about this subject matter right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm going to talk about this bitch that I talked about here in the description. Her name is Rayana Rico Rizzuto. All right? She's in the description, Rayana Rico Rizzuto. I mean, and if you don't know who this bitch is, all right, I strongly advise you to look up this Skankosaurus slutbag, to go out and just do a search, whatever portal site. You'll find out who she is. She recently wrote a book where she is championed by the feminist movement and all the women. As a matter of fact, when she came out, she was on the Today Show, and these damn feminists were championing her like she was the goddamn second coming, like she was Gloria Steinem or something of that nature, okay? And lo and behold, what happened? This bitch is being promoted throughout our media system right now for actually giving up her kids so that she can pursue her career. That's right. This bitch is actually selling a book. This disgusting old uterus-infected cougar whore bag is actually selling a book because she decided, I just don't want to be a mother anymore. I just don't want to, I know that I've got kids. I've got 2 kids. And I've been with my husband for 20 years, but I just don't want to I don't want to be a mother. It's just too much. I just don't want to do it. I'm out of here. And she got up and left her goddamn family. And now this bitch is being being championed by the feminist media and the liberal media as some kind of woman liberation. This is the new form of woman liberation, folks, all right? If you don't believe me, look her up. Here, let me go ahead and cut and paste her name so you folks can look her ass up. And if you happen to know her Twitter or email, man, give her some goddamn foul words because this bimbo deserves it. All right? That's her name right there. And not to mention, folks, that this bitch, believe it or not, she's a professor. She's a professor at a university, for Christ's sake. So this right here comprises what the educators are in our damn communities in America today, even at the higher education level. This bimbo who walked out on her children because I want to pursue my career. I want to go pursue my career. What a bunch of crap. You know that? What a bunch of crap. And let me tell you something right now. Anybody, and I mean anybody, who takes up for this Rahana Rico Rizzuto, anybody who takes up for, gives her any kind of credibility, you are probably just as big of a dish rag whore as she is. And you should have seen this spacey bitch on the Today Show. She was like, oh, no, I don't think there was nothing wrong with me walking out on my kids. I mean, as a matter of fact, we're a lot happier for it. I mean, they're teenagers now, and now I got a relationship with them, and now, you know, I'm just, it's a lot better, you know. You know what makes me sick, folks? Have a man try to do this crap. Have a man try to do this crap, and do you think that he would be able to pursue his career like this stupid Skankosaurus? Do you think that he would be able to be like, I don't want to be a father. I don't want to be a father anymore. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do my own thing. Are you kidding me? The goddamn law would not only be breaking down his door for child support, but they would be pursuing him criminally. Pursue him criminally because, you didn't pay your child support. But this bitch can go out and just dump her kids off on her husband. And, of course, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the husband... I mean, I haven't seen the husband. I don't know the husband, but, you know, there's a clip of the kids. There's some pictures of her and the kids. The kids look a little half Asian. And you know Asian people, I mean, they're a little submissive. So, you know, we all saw John Gosselin get bitched out by that other whore, that Kate Gosselin. So, look, this bimbo actually convinced this loser to say, look, I'm going to go out and I just don't want to be a mother anymore. I'm going to go, pursue my career endeavors. And you know what she did? You want to know why she gave up her kids? Because she actually got some kind of like little Rhodes scholarship to go study in Tokyo or in Japan or some crap. And as she was in Japan, she just couldn't get enough of it. She was like, I haven't lived. And I just feel that, you know, motherhood is just such a burden to me, and I just want to dump these kids off. I don't even want to think about them anymore. I just want to go out and pursue my career endeavors. And anyway, this is this bitch, man. I mean, you know, look her up. Once again, I'm going to cut and paste her name on the chat side here in the chat room. Her name is Rihanna Rosado, Cannoli, whatever the hell her name is. But this is a disgusting disgrace of human life, if I've ever seen one. And this bitch is selling books! This bitch is selling books, for Christ's sake, because she's promoting the fact that more mothers should do this, that more mothers should go out and just disown their kids, that they're just too much of a burden, and they should worry about their lives, even though they made the decision to get the hard one and get impregnated and shit out of life. Now it's okay. The feminist movement is now telling the women that it's okay to go out and just dump your kids off. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all right. The justice system doesn't go out and pursue you anyway. Just go out. You want to go to Japan? Go to Japan. Kids can look after themselves. You kidding me? You put them in front of a video game and an electronic widget, they'll be fine. You know what I'm talking about? What a fucking bitch. Excuse my friend. What a fucking disgusting Skankosaurus whore bag. And let me tell you something. In my personal opinion, I'm just going to have to pray to God on this one. All right. God, I don't ask much from you because I really don't need much from you. Because I'm doing all right. But this is something that I've got to pray for, God. And if you're listening, please listen. All right. This stupid skankosaurus that you allowed 2 lives to be put on this earth through this skank, Rihanna Recco Rizzuto, whatever the hell her name is, all right? God, if you really exist and you want us to believe, and you want us to believe that there is a supernatural force beyond this particular realm of reality, please make sure that this bimbo has some horrible, disgusting disease that turns her insides into liquid shit. Please, God, if you could please do that for me. And, in a year or 2 from now, if I hear this skankosaurus is now, she's got some, horrible cancer, you could kill me after that. I'd be fine, I'd be perfectly okay with having me just eliminated. I have to, in my personal opinion, I have to have this skankosaurus, just infected with some kind of just horrible ailment, because, that's just all there is to it. I'm sorry. I got to take a drink on that. I'm sorry, folks. And I know there's people in here shocked. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't listen to this anymore. What the hell are you talking about, Ghost? How can you say that? How can a mother, just dump her own children and say, you know what? I just don't want to be a mother anymore. Here, you take care of them, Father." What if the father didn't even want to take care of them? Then what? What, you just going to give them up for adoption? Then you give them up for adoption, for Christ's sake? This is just disgusting, man. It's just horrible, man. This is a sad case, and I want to hear from the people. What do you think about this disgusting slutbag, this conniving, useless piece of cougarish, feminist whorebag, professor, bureaucratic trash? The hell's her name? Rihanna Recco Rizzuto. This stupid, have you seen her look? Have y'all had a chance to go out and find out what she looks like? Huh? Oh, Jesus Christ, she got like a slack jaw, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm talking about? She was probably one of these bimbos that went out and said, I don't want to be in my 20-year marriage anymore. I don't want my kids. I'm going out doing my own thing. She probably got with some ethnic minority that, got his pimp hand strong on this bitch's head. And now you can see on her face that she's got like a lopsided face, like a slack jaw, for Christ's sake. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that are like, man, I can't believe you're saying this, but this is a stupid skank. I'm sorry. This is my personal opinion here. I think that she's a disgusting disgrace of human life. Anybody who's going to sit here and say, I'm going to go ahead and give up my kids, she's just a disgrace, man, an utter disgrace. People should spit on this bitch if they see her in the street, in my opinion. I would, Jesus Christ. Hey, and there's people in here saying, well, she made a mistake in life and she realized it and she's moving on. A mistake? You see, do you understand what I'm saying, folks, that, humanity has trivialized itself? The feminist movement has trivialized humanity, for Christ's sake, and now it's okay to just go out and just dump your kid off, that it's all right. Hey, it's all right. Go ahead and dump that bastard off over there. I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. What do you think about this stupid skankosaurus? And then we wonder why the goddamn social landscape in America sucks. And then we wonder why these kids are so messed up in the head. Why do you think they're doing all these damn prank calls and listening to Lady Gaga and all this other crap? It makes me sick to my stomach, man. 646-652-4869. Let's take some calls here. 000, you're on the air.
What's happening?
Yeah, well, what do you think about this skankosaurus who basically just wants to give up her kids because she wants to be some career woman?
It's a tough world out there these days, Ghost. I'm not going to touch on that, but I'm going to touch on the fact that the pimps are hoes that reverse the game on the system, okay? And you, my friend, are a hoe, and I'm going to capitalize on you paying your taxes into my motherfucking pocket.
Yeah, well, you know what? You keep doing that. You know, cuts are coming to your way, all right? Cuts are coming your way soon enough, all right? You can continue, keep getting that government cheese, keep getting that welfare card, do all that stuff, but cuts are coming your way, baby. And let me tell you something, when they come your way, it's going to be a great day in American history when you idiots that are supposed to be Poe in America don't got your free ride anymore. It's going to be a great day. I can't wait to see you idiots on the street. Man, it's not fair, baby. My kids, baby. My kids. I need all these entitlements. I need all this money because of my kids, baby. Give me a break. Stupid imbecile. Anyway, let's take some more calls. 111, you're on the air.
Yeah, Ghost, I have to agree with you, man.
I mean, no kidding. Somebody has to agree. I mean, this is a skankosaurus that should be bitch-slapped, in my opinion.
I tried posting comments on Yahoo, and they fucking denied me. I was like, where the hell is my First Amendment right to post a comment?
I tried to post a comment also. They denied me. I don't know if it got posted or it got posted later. But this is a disgrace, man, and this is what I've always been saying, man. You know it and I know it. If you've been listening to me, I've been saying this from day one, that this feminist movement is turning these women into not only subliminal prostitutes, but now they're equating this idea of trivializing life with liberation, man. These are lives that this bitch is bringing in, man. I mean, these are lives that are going to be affected because their moms walked out on them, man. I mean, for a fucking career, for a goddamn career. Not even for something important, for Christ's sake. She's some bureaucrat at some college, for Christ's sake. It's a disgrace. That's what I feel sorry for, is these damn kids, because it's not just them, man. It's the whole damn country of children out here. Teenagers, 20-somethings that are all screwed up. They're out there. They've been drugged up with damn Ritalin. They've been drugged up with Zoloft. They've been drugged up with all these goddamn drugs. They've been told, to sit there, watch television. They're emulating what's on television. They're looking at video games and damn electronic widgets. And what makes me sick is that these damn parents don't want to take responsibility. And this is why I tell every goddamn youth that's listening to me out there, you better, when you get a little more mature and you realize that all this crap that you're doing, prank calling and doing all this crap, when you realize that this crap is a little old, you got to get mature, it's time for you to start getting some goddamn balls, you better go out and make sure that these damn older generations, these assholes that were not out there protecting your interests like they should have been, like mothers and fathers should have been, you better make sure these idiots suffer because they deserve it, all right? And let me tell you, I know that I'm a part of that. I know I'm a part of that generation, but I don't give a damn, man. I mean, this is just what's right is right. Am I wrong or what?
No, you're right, but I have one more question.
What's up?
Would you suck Howard Stern's dick?
Oh, shut up. But seriously, man, it makes me sick to my stomach, man. This is no time for jokes. I mean, this bimbo is actually being championed on our feminist liberal media as some kind of an innovator for women. It makes me sick to my stomach, man. All right? So if anybody knows Rihanna Rico Rizzuto, I mean, you tell her I said to do this, all right? You tell her to get up off her fat jelly, slack-jawed looking ass. Look at herself in her weird-looking beady eyes. And I want her to spit in her face. That's what I want. I want you to spit in her damn face because she deserves it, and that's from me to her because, like I said, she deserves it, for Christ's sake. I mean, how can any mother just do that? They can just get rid of their kids? And look, there's no kind of repercussions to her, right? Oh, she can write a book. She's probably gonna be a New York Times bestseller. She's probably gonna make lots of capital. And are the kids gonna see any of that money? Huh? I mean, are the kids going to be compensated for not having their mother in the picture? Absolutely not. I'm sure there is a double standard when it comes to this type of ailment. Men, they're not even the ones that actually have the decision when it comes down to sexual relations. The women have complete and total control when it comes to the sexual relations, when it comes to a male and a female, all right? And yet, when a man is, impregnates a woman, when a man impregnates a woman, all of a sudden these women can just go to the courts and just, chastise these idiots and, basically mooch them off the child support lottery system. Lo and behold, a woman does the same damn thing. She writes a book, she becomes a professor at a college, and everything's okay. This is just a disgrace. It makes me sick. And if there's any young people out there that are watching this, that are listening to this, that this relates to your, family perception here, if this relates to your family situation, you better listen good, man. You better realize that these pieces of crap, these disgusting whorebag mothers out here aren't as sacred as Hollywood portrays them out to be. This ain't the Christmas Story anymore, folks. I mean, once again, why do you think the Christmas Story, that movie, you know what I'm talking about, the kid with the bottle cap glasses, why do you think that damn movie is so prevalent in our pop culture? Why do you think it's on 24 hours a day during Christmas time? Because people want to go back to that part of time. People want to remember that part of time. Even if you weren't born then, you get a certain level of innocence. You get a certain level of something inside of you, and you're never going to get it. You want to know why? Because your mom and your dad are a bunch of imbecilic, irresponsible assholes. And let me tell you, parents should be held responsible, man. All right? Parents should be held responsible, bottom line. As a matter of fact, I think we got... hold on. There's a number here on the chat room, folks. I'm gonna call it really quick and see. Let's see what we have. All right. All right. I'm not gonna make any promises what this is. We're gonna see what's going on. All right.
Help desk. This is Matt.
Yes. Is this the college that happens to, employ Miss Rizzuto?
Who? Sorry. Who?
Miss Rizzuto, the woman that, is the New York Times bestseller list author for dumping her kids?
I don't know. I could transfer you to HR if you want to ask them about people.
All right, well, I'll be more than happy to be transferred. I'm not saying anything towards you, sir. I'm just a little upset that, we're actually, your institution's actually employing somebody like this and championing this for intellectual curiosity. So I just want some explanation from somebody, bureaucratic authority.
Okay, well, I can transfer you up to HR. They're not there. You'll have to leave a message. But I'm sure they'd be happy. Well, it's 7 o'clock here.
How do you feel about this? Are you promoting this? You think this is great?
I don't think I'm the person that you should be talking to. So I don't think it matters what I think about anything, and I'll transfer you up to HR.
You're going to take a bureaucratic approach. I'm not going to confirm or deny because I'm just a puss that's getting some taxpayer dollars, and that's all there is to it. Is that it? Huh? Oh, now you're going to transfer me out? Is that it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Transfer me to HR.
Hello, you've reached Carrie Bigham, Human Resources Administrator at Goddard College. The office is currently closed, but if you care to leave a message, please do so at the tone, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. This is Mr. 4chan with True Capitalist Company. And the reason we're calling is because we're a little concerned about this individual that is employed at your college, Rihanna Riccio Rizzuto, if I'm not mistaken. She is a author that's promoting the concept of dumping their kids off for the sake of pursuing their careers. Now, what I would like to know is why exactly is your college a supposed higher level of learning institution employing such primitive-minded, simplistic imbeciles that are actually supposed to be teaching our children something of a higher educational level? I mean, where's the intellectual curiosity with a mother deciding to go out and hop on something that looks good in a leather jacket, dump out 2 children, and decide, I don't want to go, I don't want to be a mother anymore? And how can she be employed by your institution? This is a disgrace. This makes me sick. You understand what I'm talking about? And I hope that your institution does something about this, because let me tell you, I'm going to the press. I'm going to, one of the greatest and biggest worldwide, world-renowned radio DJs on the internet that is world-renowned in business, Ghost. I'm going to him, and I'm going to tell him to amplify this on his show and to make sure that everybody throughout the world knows that your college, your disgusting disgrace of an educational institution, is hiring somebody who is promoting dumping their children off and trivializing humanity. All right? So I hope that you like it, and let me tell you something. I would be afraid of this Ghost character. All right? He's a big-time international media sensation, and you ain't heard the last of this. That's all I'm got to say. And not only that, that little front desk little fruit bowl that you got answering phones, I didn't really appreciate his little prissy-ass attitude. So this kind of, goes to show why this institution hires deadbeat mothers. So I guess I understand. Anyway, I'm out of here. Get them off. Jesus Christ. Did everybody hear that? All right? Did everybody hear that crap from that stupid little silly bastard?
I don't think it's getting me. I don't think it's in close to me. Just shut up!
He was being a bureaucratic little weasel. And what did he do when he couldn't answer? He transferred me to the stupid other bureaucrat that ain't there conveniently enough. Give me a break. What a disgrace. What a disgrace to humanity. You know that? What a disgrace. Let me take a chug of this beer. I mean, it's just sad, man. It's freaking sad. Man, I hope that call makes the national media. Because I don't think that this bitch, what the hell is her name? We tried to give her a call. We tried to, get her employer's opinion on why Rihanna Rizzuto, whatever the hell her name is, why this bitch is employed as some kind of a goddamn professor. She's a professor at this college, man. I'm not joking. She's a professor, and this is a bitch that wrote a book about dumping her kids off to pursue her career, and now she's making millions of dollars as an author. She's a tenured professor, and everybody thinks that this is okay, that we're supposed to embrace this as some sort of woman liberation evolution or some crap. Well, hell no! I'm not going to sit here and continue to palate this garbage, all right? This is feminist nonsense, and all you people that are promoting this crap, you should be ashamed of yourselves, all you dirty dish rag whores out there that think that this Skankosaurus is somehow a poster child for progress, for feminism or something. You bitches make me sick. You know that? You make me sick! I mean, I'm sorry, man. I know that I'm getting a little angry here. I know that I'm panting. I know that I'm breathing hard, for Christ's sake, but good God, man. I mean, what kind of a mother is just going to dump her goddamn kids off because she wants to be some tenured professor at some bureaucratic institution? I mean, can somebody explain that to me? I mean, can somebody explain to me right now? Give me a call, 646-652-4869. Somebody tell me the logic behind this. And then we wonder why our children are becoming sexual deviants. And then we wonder why our children are ending up in some screwed up situations. I mean, they're participating in freaked out scenarios, for Christ's sake. It's crap, man. Anyway, Jesus Christ, it's already the third hour, all right? It's already the third hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Let me tell you, if you're listening in right now, please spread the live broadcast around like wildfire. All right? Let everybody know that, the True Capitalist Radio Show is in effect and it's in the house and we ain't taking no BS from anybody. All right? All right, the link to send them to is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. All right? Spread it around like wildfire. And secondly, folks, the blog, the True Capitalist blog, folks, take a look at it. I'm going to be updating it today, ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. Anyway, I want to take some calls here. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to thank everybody for tuning in live or in the archive. Let's go ahead and take some calls, shall we? Area code 646, you there?
Baby Buns. This is your favorite caller. I think you should calm down and quit talking about that lady because she's really, really nice, And you're being a huge faggot.
Oh, give me that crap. Don't give me that crap. Oh, she's really nice. She's really nice. Are you kidding me? I wanted to get an explanation from her employer. And yet, look, they didn't want to give a response. They didn't want to even say anything, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ, it makes me sick, you know that? It really makes me sick to my stomach that these kinds of skanks are being put up on pedestals, man. I mean, it doesn't make you sick? I mean, especially you young kids out here, man, who probably have similar scenarios that are to this bitch's situation. You don't have a parent that's in the household or, something whatever the case might be, man. I mean, this is how trivial people are accepting life. This is how they're treating children, for Christ's sake, man. It's disgusting. I mean, it's bad enough that these bitches are able to kill their kids and not get away with it under temporary insanity or postpartum depression, which is the most ridiculous ailment of all time. I mean, I'll slap a bitch with postpartum depression. I'm serious. I mean, when I heard Brooke Shields come out and say, yeah, I was dealing with postpartum depression, and there was times in my life where I thought bad thoughts about my kid, and I thought bad things. Shut up! You need a good smack to the mouth, for Christ's sake. You see, this is what you get. This is what you get when you try to, have woman liberation out here and trying to encapsulate life with your liberation. Anyway, 646-652-4869. Let's take some calls here. 902, you're on the air.
Baby Buns, I want to smell your underwear. I love you, Ghosty Boo.
Ah, Jesus Christ. I mean, this guy, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the hell. I mean, is anybody caring out here, for Christ's sake? I mean, that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Is anybody caring? Nobody cares about these kids. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about their country. They don't care about anything. They don't care about anything. It makes me sad. Oh, Jesus Christ. Get this crap out of here. It's a crap. I'm sorry, folks. I'm getting out of hand here, but this is America. You know what I'm talking about? This is the America where we're promoting bimbos giving up their kids and becoming tenured professors at colleges, huh? I mean, this is the America here, huh? Anyway, I want to go on to another subject matter. I think I've already beaten a dead horse with that bitch, but let me tell you, once again, I want to post her name here in the chat room right here, folks. All right, this is it right here. That's that bitch's name. This bitch right here decided that it was okay because the feminist movement told her so, that to dump her kids off, to end her 20-year marriage, dump her kids off so she could pursue a career as some kind of a tenured professor while her kids were, who the hell knows where they were. She didn't even care. She didn't even care, and she's written a book about this where she is hopping around from media outlet to media outlet
talking about, oh, it was a good thing for me to give up my children because that helped me I went and got out to my career and I did what I wanted, and then my kids still care about me. We still talk and we still do things. Shut your stupid skankosaurus. God, I got to take a break, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just got to take a break, man, or I'm gonna flip here, man. I mean, I just can't believe that this is America. It's a sick broad is right. It's a sick goddamn broad. We tried to call her employer. Of course, her employer ain't gonna want to stick by her. Are you kidding me? Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about these students, these athletes, these teen athletes that are about right now that are dropping dead. There was a report, I forgot what city or state it was in, but there was a kid who actually hit the last-second shot at his local high school basketball game. And as he was celebrating his game-winning shot, he collapsed on the floor and died suddenly. And another student recently, the same situation happened. These teen athletes are starting to just drop dead. In the midst of playing their games, that sort of thing. Now, why is this happening is a lot of the mainstream media's questions when posting content when it relates to this subject matter. In my personal opinion, all right, I believe that it's all the medications and all the garbage that has been fed to these kids. Let me tell you, I honestly believe that all the medication that have been given to these kids, whether it was mental, whether it was physical, whether it was that Accutane for acne. I mean, there's so many medications that children are exposed to because they're at the whim of their parents, and of course the parents don't care. They think that the damn doctors know everything, even though they don't. I mean, haven't you noticed, folks, that why do you think doctors call their business a practice? Yeah. I practice medicine. Yeah, I practice doctoring. I practice surgery. I mean, you idiots need to start realizing that the language is there. All right? I mean, the language is there. You people need to start getting with the understanding of what reality is. All right? When you go to a doctor, he's practicing on you. And in my personal opinion, I think that, a lot of these kids that are dropping dead from these weird ailments, it's a side effect from all the drugs that these kids have been given throughout the years because Mammy and Daddy didn't want to deal with them, for Christ's sake. All right? That Mommy and Daddy didn't want to go out and, actually spend time with the kid or do homework. All right? Or go out and say, hey, I got to spend some family time. No, absolutely not. No, what happens is these kids, and you can look at the statistics yourself, folks. I mean, the numbers of children that have been exposed to these mental drugs and these disgusting, legal narcotics are enormous. I mean, they're an enormous amount of the youth population. That this is why you're seeing these types of drop-dead athletes, teenage athletes that should be at the prime of their life. This should be the time when they shouldn't have any kind of ailments, and yet it's starting to become common to see teen athletes die in the middle of athletic competition. And in my opinion, I actually believe that what's killing these kids is all the damn crap that they were given as children. It's all coming back to haunt them, man. I mean, remember, when you give children medication, I mean, you're giving medication to a developing body. So, as a child is developing and growing up and you're giving them medication that's altering their mental perceptions, or better yet, or worse yet, I should say, their physical augmentations, I mean, let me tell you something, all right? This is seriously affecting the growth of their organs, their bodies, their bones. All right? I mean, give me a break. And I'm not trying to scare kids that are out here saying, hey, you're scaring me. I took Ritalin as a child. Well, I don't think it should scare you. It should concern you. And you should ask yourself, why the hell was I given Ritalin for? I mean, why the hell was I given these medications for? What? I mean, why did Mom have to, or Dad, take me to some goddamn psychiatrist or some pseudoscientist and dump me off there and say, okay, go ahead and take care of him. He's too much for me. He's too much for me to handle. I can't take him anymore. I mean, do something. And let me tell you, you know what Ritalin does to children? Ritalin is supposed to be speed. It's supposed to be a speed for adults. So if you decide as an adult to take Ritalin, it's supposed to be a real speed-like drug that's going to hype you up, like crank or something. But to children, it does the complete opposite. To children, it's supposed to slow them down and kind of make them docile. So why does it have a completely different reaction to children or teenagers than it does to adults? Nobody asks these questions. No, they don't. All they do is just, the parents just take them to the damn doctor. The doctor says, I'm getting kickbacks from this particular medication, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to them. Here you go. And they give them the medication, and whatever the side effects are, whatever the long-term ailments are unknown. So this is why I'm saying, folks, you're seeing all these teens dropping dead in the middle of sports competitions. If you want my personal opinion, I think it's because of all the drugs, man. All these drugs on these developing bodies of these children are having a physical effect on the biology of these kids as they grow up. I mean, it's just common sense, man. It's just common sense that if you're going to give something that's going to alter the brain chemistry of a teenager or alter the brain chemistry of a child, it's going to have a negative or positive or a different reaction towards the growth process of that particular child. I mean, it's all there is to it, man. I mean, you might as well drink. I mean, that's why I keep telling you, man. Everybody that's out there saying, no, I got taking Paxil. I'm taking Prozac. I'm taking Zoloft. I'm taking I'm taking Vicodin. I'm taking I'm taking Xanax. I'm taking I mean, you might as well just keep drinking. You might as well drink or, hell, with all the damn side effects that are encapsulated with all these legal narcotics, you might as well do illegal drugs, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm not joking. You might as well just do some illegal drugs with all the side effects that are encapsulated around these damn narcotics that are being shoved down our faces. You might as well go ahead and keep drinking. You might as well smoke the Magic Dragon. You might as well, do some cocaine. I mean, who the hell cares at this point is what I'm saying. Why do you think I'm drinking, Why do you think I'm drinking, for Christ's sake? I'm going to keep drinking. Because drinking is what I like to do. And somebody in here, Serena, was saying some antidepressant pills say side effects include increased thoughts of suicide. Well, why would that even be a side effect? I mean, aren't these supposed pseudoscientists in psychiatry? I mean, don't they know the biology of the brain enough to know that, maybe we should, give the brain, some of this and not something that's going to have a side effect of thoughts of suicide? I mean, this is what I'm saying, folks. Don't believe these goddamn scientists, man. The scientists of today have become its own institution. And let me tell you, Descartes, Galileo, Newton, the godfathers of science, would be sick to their stomachs looking at how science has become an institution and how it's the end-all authority when it comes to life itself. We're scientists. We know better. We're going to give this kid some medication because we know what this kid needs, even though there hasn't been any kind of testing, any kind of legitimate trial testing. There hasn't been any kind of legitimacy to give any basis for practicality for psychiatry, even though there hasn't been any study that it's been worth a crap to give any kind of credibility to the realm of psychiatry. No, we're still going to go ahead and make these brain-altering drugs and hand them out to people so that we can what? I don't get it. I don't understand it, man. I never took a goddamn brain-altering drug in my life, all right? Except for maybe that one time on episode number 147 of the True Conservative Radio Show when I decided to expose myself to tetrahydrocannabinol. Other than that, I've just been drinking. But now that I'm looking at all these damn kids that are dropping dead because of these athletic deaths. I mean, not only do I credit the medications that are given out by psychiatry, but also what our children are being exposed to. Remember, we have a sick social pipeline. I was just about to say that, Sereno. I was going to say that we have a sick social pipeline here, okay? Let's first talk about energy drinks and about how now they're starting to consider whether or not to give energy drinks or distribute them exclusively through liquor stores and over 21 type of establishments, because not only are they addicting, they actually infuriate the heart rate. And you mix that with whatever medications have already altered the biological makeup of a child, I think that could cause some serious damage. Of course, I'm talking about energy drinks. And I was just about to say that. Good, you beat me to it, Sereno. But let's also talk about these new ways of getting high that these kids are starting to embrace because they see it as a safer way of, partaking in the mind-altering festivities, one of which is cough medicine. Yeah, believe it or not, that's why cough medicine has to be brought behind the counter now. I'm talking about over-the-counter cough medicine. You have to go up to the damn pharmacist and say, hey, I need some cough medicine to get it, because the damn kids have found out that they can get seriously high and seriously, mind-altered by regular antihistamine cough medicine. And believe it or not, they do this on a consistent basis, all right? I mean, and this has become a big trend with young kids because they think, hey, it's legal, it's over the counter, it can get me, get me off, it can get me mind-altering. I mean, let me tell you, this type of stuff gets you, some damage in the cardiovascular region. I mean, if you don't believe me, there is a substance out and about that the urban community calls in the streets purple oil. Purple oil, believe it or not, is a syrupy substance of hydrocodone, which is not only supposed to aid in, what do you call it, pain, but it's supposed to also help with certain, upper respiratory ailments, things of that nature. I don't want to get into the whole crux of that particular purple oil, but it's hydrocodone. Well, this has actually become a predominantly, urban phenomena. Anybody who listens to rap music is partaking in sipping on purple oil, which is hydrocodone mixed with Sprite or 7-Up. And they actually pour this hydrocodone in there, they drink it, and believe it or not, it gets them exuberantly high. I mean, supposedly it's the greatest feeling in the world. But the problem is that it causes so much cardiovascular damage that it can make you have a heart attack or a stroke before your time. I mean, if you don't believe me, just ask DJ Screw. DJ Screw was the innovator of screwed up rap music. This was a guy who consistently drank purple oil. It was actually what inspired him to create the screwed up music. I mean, was the influence of purple oil. Pimp C, believe it or not. Pimp C from, what was it called? What the hell is that damn called? What the hell is that band called? You know what I'm talking about. Pimp C from Underground Kings, UGK. Pimp C from UGK, Underground Kings, was another victim of purple oil. Purple oil basically got to Pimp C's heart and made him have a heart attack. So why am I bringing this up? Because, look, these types of exotic ways to get off are being promoted to our children. And our children are not only partaking in these types of exotic drugs and exotic ways to get high, but they're also being fed by doctors and psychiatrists and all these other pseudoscientists these dumb ailments to redesign their biological brain makeup and their chemistry, and not to mention affecting their growth as they grow older. You take that into consideration with all the energy drinks and the promotion of sodas and high fructose corn syrup and high sugar-based foods. I mean, you take this into consideration with all the fatty crap that's in the foods today in Mickey D's and Wendy's and all that other crap. You take that all into consideration. It's no wonder why we're seeing these kids dying in the middle of a damn athletic sport, for Christ's sake, because do you think that they can take it? I mean, they've been guinea pigs, for Christ's sake, the children of America. They've been freaking guinea pigs, and we've just stood by and accepted, for Christ's sake. It makes me sick. I mean, this is why I have so much compassion for the youth today, man. They've been screwed, man. They've been screwed, and you know what's unfortunate is that their biological makeup and all the mental drugs and all the garbage that's in their head, they can't interpret what's going on. You understand? This is why they don't get it. They don't understand the seriousness, man. This is why their head hurts whenever you ask them a question that actually encompasses them to think. It hurts because of all this crap that we've been feeding these poor kids, man. The Ritalin, the damn Prozacs, I mean everything, even for acne, the Accutanes and everything. I mean, just you name it, whatever we expose these kids to. This is why these kids are dropping dead today in athletic competitions. And anybody who wants to debate me on that, if you're some kind of goddamn doctor that thinks, you know, you got a John Holmes sausage 15.5 inches hanging down between your legs because you have some doctorate's degree, well, give me a goddamn call. I will be more than happy to make you look lower than a leprechaun's nutsack and school you in your own pseudoscience because you idiots don't know. And people are sitting here saying I'm a little paranoid. I'm not paranoid. This crap didn't happen back when I was growing up. I mean, you know, teenagers weren't dropping dead in the middle of athletic competition when I was growing up. We didn't have teenagers just dropping dead out of nowhere. I'm not paranoid. Give me a break. Let me take a chug of this beer here. Let me take a little bit more. I'm sorry, I'm chugging here, all right? I'm chugging. That's what I'm doing. All right, as a matter of fact, I'm going to continue to chug, right? You know, because it's better to drink than it is to take these goddamn mind-altering drugs that make you want to commit suicide and off yourself in the most bizarre ways, for heaven's sake. You know what I'm talking about here? Let me go ahead and drink. Because drinking is what I like to do. Woo-hoo. Done with that one? Time to open a new one. Woo! Anyway, 646-652-4869. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think these kids are getting all messed up and dying in the middle of basketball courts and football games and other athletic scholastic activities because of all the drug concoctions we've exposed our youth to? I want to hear from you. 000, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost, it's Chronic in the Bill Wagner crew. This is the perfect discussion to be having with me.
Hey, what's up? What's up, man?
My mom put me on that Ritalin shit when I was in, like, grade 2. You know, she was a nurse, right? And so
are you kidding me? At grade 2, did you say? Grade 2?
Yeah, man. That's when it first came out, right? So I was probably in the 90s, in the early 90s when that happened. But it was like I wouldn't go out to do work or go up for recess. I just stayed in to do schoolwork and math and shit, and I was just tweaking. And after like a week or so, they realized that I was getting these tics, and I was, you know, cracking my knuckles and shit, and my jaw was fucking grinding and that. So they got me off it, but for like years later, I had these like tics and stuff from that stuff fucking with my head, right? And I mean, I've done all sorts of drugs, and I'm not a fuck up, and I can tell you a lot about that. But I did meth one time as an experiment when we had this professor guy that we had. We used to steal cars and shit like that, and we made him make us meth. Anyways, it was exactly like that Ritalin shit. It's exactly what it was like. I had flashbacks when I did that shit.
What, methamphetamine?
Yeah, I mean, they're giving meth to kids in grade 2. That's what you're saying. That's real.
No, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I've been saying that. I think it's disgusting, man. And you're actually saying that you have side effects from this still to remain to this day?
No, I mean, I kicked all that stuff because I'm but for years after, I would have, like, I want to crack my knuckles and little tics and stuff, and just from the Ritalin, right? And I mean, I do it every now and then, not very often, but those stimulant drugs give you those kind of effects, and I mean, those aren't things you want little kids fucking with, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely not, man. And you think about the fact that how Ritalin has a negative, or the opposite effect, I should say, that it does have on adults. I mean, so how is it calming a child down when a child is naturally energetic and playful and has a lot of energy?
The biggest problem today is not the war on drugs. They should have a war on cut. The amount of shit that they put in those drugs and they tell you what you're doing, it's not what you're doing, Fucking cocaine nowadays is with ephedrine and fucking Ritalin and meth and fucking everything you can think of. If you actually got high on real cocaine, you wouldn't be fucking doing any of that shit. And the same with crack.
Unfortunately, all the real cocaine was done in the 70s at Studio 64.
Even
because
then, the stuff coming up from Bolivia is only 80% pure. They have crude methods of purifying the drugs, and that's what I'm getting at. That they're so in the drugs that people think that they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. And like a kid eating fucking 30 pill a day Vicodin, he's gonna die because his liver's gonna shut down because of all that Tylenol, acetylmethine, or whatever the shit that's in there. And really the kid's only got a healthy $15 a day medical grade heroin habit, and he wouldn't be getting sick from that if it wasn't for all the cutting drugs. These guys are capitalizing off of the stupid people in America. And I agree with you about a lot of the shit you say about capitalism, Ghost, but it's not the only way. I don't think you got to be very rigid like you are about these kind of things, because this isn't even really a capitalist society we live in. It's a fucking sham.
Well, you also have to remember that the whole reason why we have such a sham when it comes to not only the war on drugs, but drugs in general, as it relates to the pharmaceutical companies, is because the government is involved in it. I mean, exactly. I guarantee you, if pharmaceutical companies were manufacturing drugs and people were dying from them, and this was a private enterprise, that company would go down the tubes and would no longer be in existence any longer. But because we have protectionist, what's that?
These guys, pharma, all the corporations. I mean, let's get real. There hasn't been any real countries in control for a long time. Corporations control the world. And pharma is one of the biggest corporations that control the world.
No, I disagree, man. I don't think corporations rule the world. Chronic. Hold on, man. Hold on, Chronic. I got to disagree with you, man. I don't think corporations rule the world at all. I mean, corporations do not rule the world. If corporations rule the world, we wouldn't be having destabilization in the Middle East. We wouldn't have had the leftist uprising that we've had, in the 90s, the 80s, and the 70s in South America. We wouldn't have had, these types of things if corporations rule the world. They don't rule the world. What rules the world is governments, man. Governments is what rules the world. Now, what's sad is that these systems of government are necessary, but you've got bureaucrats that put themselves in the position of power in these bureaucracies and use that little authority, all right? They use that little authority there to expand their bureaucratic system. And now we're living in a damn society where government wants to do everything for us. And we've got a people in today's American society that want them to do everything for us. It's disgusting, man.
I mean, and to sit here and say that, hey, corporations are in control of anything, I just don't agree with that. And if corporations are in major control, like Serino said, what about Google? You know, what about Google, who was able to manipulate Egypt into rioting, like I said? Well, let's look at Egypt for a second, all right? Egypt was ruled by an authoritarian regime, all right? That authoritarian regime didn't implement an economic model that benefited the country enough to have a sufficed middle class that prevented this type of uprising. As a result, you had Google, for some reason, deciding that it was going to utilize its technological advancements to cause destabilization. Now, you can sit here and claim that that's not fair, that Google, you know, is a corporation, and that proves that corporations control the world. That only proves that enough people go to Google and you look at them as a credible source of information. I mean, that's what it looks. I mean, you remember, you know, a corporation is only powerful because people consume in it. I mean, I've always said where you spend your money is a political. It's a political action. You know, where you spend your money is a political situation. Now, if you disagree that Walmart is too big, if you think that Google is too big, if you think that Microsoft is too big, well, then why exactly are you continuing to spend the money on these products? Why don't you support mom and pop shops? Why don't you go out and do these types of things? You know, the people don't do it. You know, and it's the people's fault. If corporations become nefarious and too big for their own good, it's because the people decided, you know, that they just weren't going to bear responsibility. You know, and what's responsibility? Responsibility is that when a government is made for the people and by the people, and the people fall asleep at the wheel, who do you think is going to take control of the government? You know, ponder on that while I take a break here, folks, all right? And this is a perfect break that I'm going to put on here. This next song I'm about to put on, okay, it basically says what the government wants from you, all right? I mean, this is a perfect song of government here, all right? Now, I want you to listen to this song once again, because this is like literally government telling you what it's about, all right? Because it's not capitalism, it's not corporatism that's taken control of everything. It's these goddamn governments. And not to mention that I am not in agreement with corporation merging with governments, all right? I don't agree with that. All right, I don't agree with that whatsoever. But if the people allow it and the people continue to spend their money at these corporations, how the hell are you going to stop it? How the hell are you going to stop it when these idiots continue to spend their money at these places? Can you explain that to me? I mean, I'd like for somebody to please explain that to me, for Christ's sake. I mean, how exactly is a corporation supposed to be eliminated when the people keep spending their money there? I mean, you can't get any more free than that, man. You know that you're free to spend your money wherever you want? I mean, everybody in the world is free to spend their money wherever the hell they want, and yet they continue to spend it on the so-called evil corporations. This is why I'm saying you can't say that this is a corporatist world, that the corporations own everything. It's the governments, man. It's the government shoving down this authoritarian, totalitarian crap. Remember, NASA and its satellites, which basically keep track of us via GPS, which basically keep track of us via satellite imagery, this was made by government funding, all right? The NSA, where you have to go and have a picture of your Johnson taken through those X-ray machines before you get on a plane, and if you refuse that, you got to get, physically fondled and anal probed before you get on a plane. That's not private enterprise. That's not corporations. That's government, man. That's the government. Okay? I mean, you get stopped by a cop, and a cop suspects that maybe you've been drinking, and just because he's got a hunch that you've been drinking, he can basically utilize the government institutional bureaucracy to force you to have blood taken out from your body so that he can get a case on your intoxication while driving. I mean, these are real scenarios, and this isn't done by corporations. This isn't done by private enterprise. This is government, man. This is this scumbag government that's supposed to be, we're supposed to be for the people. And I mean, let me tell you something. I don't trust the government. I'll never trust the government. The only time I'll trust the government when it's so small that the only thing that it's implementing is the rule of law via contract law and criminal law, and be able to suffice the basic services without all the pork barrel spending and all the bureaucratic nonsense that these assholes in Washington like to do with our tax-paying dollars. You know? I mean, I'm not joking, folks. I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach here. I mean, I hate to hear, Chronic and all these young kids think that corporatism is the big bad boogeyman. I'm not saying that corporatism is great, man. I'm not saying that there aren't bad guys. I'm not saying that there's not greed. But do you understand that we have the power to change who's the big corporation and who isn't? That we have the power to spend our capital wherever we see fit. If we think that a certain corporation sucks, we can just kind of disassociate ourselves from that corporation. If we don't agree with how a corporation is producing their products or services, we can disassociate ourselves from that corporation. But people don't do that. All right? You want to know why they don't do that? Because they're stupid. All right? So if they're stupid, why is it my problem, and why is it every other capitalist's problem that we've got, corporations, doing all this nonsense with government? Hey, I'm here. I'm saying, hey, us capitalists, we have to become a force. We have to come together, and we have to realize that we can't allow private enterprise to merge with government. We just can't allow that. We cannot allow private enterprise to merge with government. But the more and more you look at the so-called modern economies of today, that's all you see. That's all you see is the merging of government and corporate enterprise. And it's sick, man. This is why I'm doing this show. This is why I'm hoping that I'm penetrating your psyches and penetrating your subconsciouses to realize that we need private enterprise separate from government. And unless we do that, we're going to end up like China, folks. If we don't go out and separate private enterprise from government, we're going to end up like China, where the only people that are getting prosperous, the only people that are getting paid, the only people that are becoming billionaires and millionaires are the people that are involved and integrated with the communist government. Those that are integrated with the communist bureaucracy. And I don't want that, folks. I don't want that crap. I don't want that. And let me tell you, I'm going to take a break right now. I don't want you to listen to the song. It's by what is his name? Tyler Crichton. Tyler Crichton, all right? And I want you to listen to the words, because this is the government. This is your government, no matter what government you live in, no matter if you live in America, no matter if you live in anywhere across the world. This is your government talking to you. So listen. I want you to listen to the words to this song, because this is your government, no matter where you are in the world. No matter where you are in the world, this is your government talking to you. And this is the bureaucrats' end goal. This is their end goal, folks. All right? So I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to take a quick break. And afterwards, I'm going to take all the calls, see what everybody's talking about. But I want you to listen to this, all right? This is your government. No matter where you are throughout the world, this is your government talking to you.
your health, your phone. We want your life, your house, your phone, your life, your cash, your house, your phone. We want your soul, your house, your phone, your life, your cash, your house, your phone. We want your soul, your phone, your number, your life, your schedule, your info, your details, your life. Show us your music, your photos, your home. Here, take control, stay calm, get a job, get pension, get a haircut, get food, bring the lottery, play football, play the field, what do you do? We'll show you things, we'll show you things, we'll draw you things, we'll throw you back, we'll church you down, we'll find the game, don't forget your soul, your house, your phone, we want 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 your soul, your emotions, your love, your dreams, your temple, your answers, your credit, your screams, your security, your sobriety, your innocence, your society, your love, your place, your business, your space. Your house, your phone, your life, your cash, your house, your phone, we want your soul, your house, your phone, your life, your cash, your house, your phone, we want your soul, your house, your phone, your life, your cash, your house, your phone, we want your soul, your house, your phone, your life, your cash, your house, your phone, we want your soul.
You're listening to Ghost on True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
Yeah, did you hear that? I hope that y'all heard that very clear, because that's exactly what the government is saying to you. All right? That song was by Tyler Crichton. All right? Tyler, and then his last name is Crichton.
And, of course, the name of the song is We Want Your Soul. And that's exactly what these goddamn governments want. They want to take away our ability to be prosperous. They want to take away our ability to actually gain capital. They want to be able to redistribute the wealth and do all this stupid, dumbass nonsense so they can be totalitarian bureaucrats on our asses, for Christ's sake. You know? I mean, that's what I'm talking about, for Christ's sake. Anyway, you can download that one song if you like it. I saw a lot of people like that song. You can actually download that for free. You know, once again, this is Creative Commons licenses. Anything that I'm playing, you can play for free, man. You can get it, you download it yourself. So if you like it, Tyler Crichton, We Want Your Soul. Go ahead and look at that. And you know, you can hook up some badass music there. And if you listen to it, we want your soul. It's the government telling you, you know, your house, your life, your cash. And that's what they want, man. That's what the government wants. They want everything. You know, they don't want people to be, you know, prosperous, and they don't want people to gain capital. They don't want people to live lavish. You know who the bureaucrats want to live lavish? Them. That's who they want to live lavish. They don't want you know, regular schmoes like us being able to utilize our mental prowess and our intellectual curiosity to maintain some badass capital and some lavish ass living. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do it, man. Anyway, we got about 10 minutes left, folks. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to take your call, 646-652-4869. Let me go ahead and take another drink here, shall we? Oh, yeah. Anyway, 646-652-4869. We've got a couple of callers here. I want to take your calls for the last 10 minutes. Area code 408, you're on the air.
Hey, what's poppin', Ghost? It's Goofy Bone.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Goofy Bone in the house, man. What are you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm about to drink a beer with you, Ghost. That oil, that OIL, man, I made about 19%, almost 20% off that stock because of
man, are you kidding me? That's what I'm saying, man. Are you kidding me? I'm making it, and there's other people like you that got in on that play because they realized that, hey, this speculation that I was speculating throughout the whole time of True Capitalist Radio that there was going to be a spike in oil, it finally came to pass, and you know, people are. I'm not only reaping the rewards on that OIL stock or ETF, but also I'm trading futures every morning, man. I'm out there putting in on put options. I mean, I'm making some serious money, man. I mean, even though, you know, equities may be taking a hit, that's what's so beautiful about diversification. If equities take a hit, you can have oil, you can have gold, you can have real estate. As a matter of fact, real estate is on its way up, man. I know that you said that you were investing in some real estate properties out there in Denver. I think it's a good time for you.
You don't even want to know what I got. Check this out. I invested $60,000 half of it I earned during some illegal transactions, and half was given to me by my father. So what I did was I went to Denver, Colorado, because you know I banged a couple of broads out there. There was a nice little sector that got tore down and totally rebuilt. I mean, it's very nice, but the problem is that I see that they're a little high for the community. They want $95,000 for like a 2-bedroom, and so what I did was I went on the outskirts of that little environment, and I bought 7 little houses like that for about $6,500. Totally beat down, crack house, pissed everywhere. All we did was linen. Well, let me tell you the figures, okay? We got $6,000 and about $6,500 for each times 7. You get about $45,500, and then I for the zoning and the taxing and the lawyers and all that shit, I had to pay $12,000 for that. And then
that sounds about right.
To paint and put new windows, new doors, and all that stuff. It was about $2,000, $3,000 for all 7 of those houses. But I'm telling you, I played the market, Ghost. Over there across the street, they want $95,000 and on my places, 65,000 for the same thing, Ghost.
Hey, let me tell you, man. I mean, the real estate market is coming up. I mean, have you seen all economic indicators? I mean, even the 30-year mortgage rate is going up. Everything, the interest rate's going up. I mean, I think that this may be the rebound for real estate, man. So you know, that was a pretty good gauge on your part to go ahead. I remember you calling me before you even made the actual transaction. You made it. Now, you know, hopefully, not hopefully, I think that you're going to sell these houses for a good chunk of change.
6 of the 7 have sold already, Ghost. I'm almost to $500,000, Ghost. I am so fucking happy to be a capitalist, Ghost. You don't understand. So cheers to you, Ghost.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, man.
I'm living it, Ghost. Oh my God!
Hey, man, cheers, man. You know, straight up cheers.
I'm gonna chug right now. Ghost, cheers. I'm gonna chug one right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna chug one too, man. That's pretty good. Cheers, yeah. Man, let me tell you something. I'm glad, Goofy Bone, that you're hooking it up. You're making capital. That's what it's all about, man.
Cheers, Ghost. You know what, Ghost? Man, I swear I've been crying all day when I got that call where they're telling me that 6 of the 7 already sold. I put them on the last, not even 2 weeks, Ghost. And I got done finishing paying the last 2 of them the other day. Man, Ghost, I don't know what to say, Ghost.
Well, no, I remember when you called about that. I remember when you called about it. You were like, you know, should I not? And I was just like, look, well, you know, there's going to be lawyer fees. You got to look out for the zoning and, you know, everything else. You obviously did that. You bought them. You're paying them. You're rebuilding them. You're selling them below market value, which is still a considerable profit to you. And now you're making considerable money, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Cheers, man. Straight up.
Cheers, Ghost. I'm telling you, I'm lost for words, Ghost. And I'm always going to be a listener to you, Ghost. I'm telling you. I'm going to actually make, in my rap studio, a picture of your little symbol, the Ghost, and I'm going to hang it up in the studio just for you, Ghost, and I'm going to take a picture and send it to you as soon as
Hey, man, I hope so, man. I would appreciate that. I will put it on my YouTube, put it on my blog and everything, man.
All right, man. Just let me hang out, Ghost. I'm just tuning in, man. I'm just so drunk. I don't know what to say, Ghost.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's about living large, baby, man. Keep living large there, man.
Man, thanks, Ghost. Thanks to you and your words, man. I'm telling you, you making me money every fucking day, Ghost. I'm telling you, God brought me to you for some reason, and I thank him every day, man. And I'm glad to be a capitalist. I was once a conservative, too. I believed in that all the real bullshit until I seen Sarah Palin and a fucking bullshit fucking wannabe commie because she lives right across the street from the fucking commie. Fucking ass with her stupid ass kids. Yeah, it's okay to bust out fucking babies. Yeah, forget about it. They're kids. Let them be. Fuck that shit. I believed in the fucking American values. Even though I was gangbanging out in the street, shooting people, I still believe in America because our forefathers risked their lives to come to America and make America what it is. And believe me, they are rolling in their graves to see these fat people getting free checks, doing nothing. While
I hear you. I'm getting pissed. Are you kidding me? I'm getting pissed.
Some of us out here are doing shit, Ghost. And because of you, man, I'm almost 500,000, Ghost. And thank you, Ghost. I'm telling you.
Keep on, man. Keep on making. Don't stop. Don't get comfortable, man. Just keep on stacking, man.
I am, Ghost, and trust me, I'm not going to pull a Charlie Sheen and get all fucking coked out with some hookers at a hotel. I'm going to take this money, and I'm going to try to triple this money, Ghost. That's what I'm going to do. I'm telling you.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Capitalism.
Well, anyway, man, we got 2 minutes left in the broadcast, man. I'm going to let you hang out. Is that cool?
All right, Ghost, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right, man. Hey, everybody. That's Goofy Bone, everybody. He's obviously making some serious capital
off of listening to the True Capitalist radio broadcast. And that's what I keep telling people, man. You listen to Ghost, it's like making freaking money. That's what it's like. It's like making freaking money. Anyway, we got 2 minutes left in the broadcast, folks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. If you could please spread the damn show around like wildfire, folks. You understand what I'm talking about? Spread it around like wildfire. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. All right? blogtalkradio.com/ghost is the link to send people if they want to tune in to the live broadcast. Anyway, we got 1 more minute. Let's take one more caller here. This 715 Ass Clown. What do you want? Yeah, I knew that was lame. You stayed on for an hour for that? That was lame. 408, you're on the air.
That's me, Ghost.
Oh, that's you again. Oh, my bad, man. I forgot. I put you on hold. There's a... I forgot about Goofy Bone, man. My bad. Hey, 000, you're on the air.
What's up? Congrats, Goofy Bone.
What's going on? What do you got to say, man? You got 1 minute. Hurry up.
Not much. I just want to say congrats to Goofy Bone and congrats to you, Ghost. Make some money, man. Peace.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you for calling in, man. We got 1 more minute left. Who else we got? Nah, I'm not answering Super Rez, you asshole. Get off the horn. And we got a whole bunch of other people that are just listening in. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please spread around the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, folks, and follow me on Twitter. Tell everybody to follow me on Twitter, all right? Ghost Politics is the name to follow, folks. All right? I'm going to be here, same place, same time, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and tell everybody that I'm here, man. Because listening to Ghost is like making freaking money, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, you heard Goofy Bone, you've heard everybody else. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Be a capitalist! Be a capitalist! And if you're not going to be a capitalist, well, then go beg for a little bread. Go beg for a loaf of bread. Anyway, I'm out of here. Long live the capitalist movement, baby. And goddamn, it feels good to be a capitalist.
You've been listening to True Capitalist Radio. The thoughts, views, ideas, comments, and opinions of the host of this show are absolutely his. Catch more live episodes Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30 Central. Or check out archive shows at blogtalkradio.com. True Capitalist Radio.
That's it.
Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.